Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Sherlock discussion. This time, I'm joined by Kyle Entertainment. As always, I guess. Last time he was here too. And we're talking about Sherlock Season 2, which I have seen before, multiple times. Not when it aired, but like afterwards. I think I was live when I was watching Season 3. But this is Kyle's first time ever reacting to it, or watching it, I guess. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yes, EliteAri, we are back by popular demand. Here we are to talk about everybody's favorite show, Sherlock. The show you promised would do big numbers, and as I'm looking here, it says, want to guess, EliteAri, how much views our last video?
I think we got like 75.
69 views.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And one comment, and that one comment was me. So, the people, they love Sherlock. Here we are to talk about it again.
Yep.
EliteAri's a fake fan, didn't even watch it as it was airing on the BBC network.
That is true. I watched the last 2 seasons as they were airing, not the first 2.
Did the next one take 2 years to come out again?
I think so. Yeah, there were very big gaps between these seasons. Like the show spanned from 2010 to 2017 or something. And it's only 4 seasons.
That's because of its immense quality, EliteAri.
I don't know why. It probably has something to do with the I don't even know why it spanned so long. I don't know. It could be the actors are like busy. It could be the I think for the final season, I think the actors being busy was actually why it was so late. But the rest of it, I don't know. Who knows? Anyway.
Oh my god, you're just so correct. It's 2010, 2012, 2014, a special in 2016, and then 2017. So that little last one, there was a big gap. We got to film Doctor Strange, EliteAri, the great Doctor Strange. I never saw that movie.
Yep. And The Hobbit.
It still doesn't look like that guy. The Hobbit was 2012 to 2014.
Yes. All right, anyway.
Bilbo Baggins, my favorite guy.
Basically, there's this season. I said last time that this is like the show progressively changes as it goes on. Did you detect
EliteAri made a huge deal.
Did you detect any changes whatsoever is basically what I want to know.
I mean, yeah, kind of immediately.
Okay.
Seemed like this show's got a big dick now, EliteAri. We're cool guys. We got lots of money to spend, and we're flexing.
Yeah. I guess my perspective.
Look at these.
Go ahead.
Look at this, EliteAri. You got a graph over here. Shut up, idiot. We got 8.3 million viewers over here. That's a big deal. So we got to bump it up. So this ain't no silly little show. It's a big show now.
That is true. The first season was a testing thing.
It went up by 2 million.
Yeah. My understanding, because I did read a little bit of the Wikipedia to prepare for this. My understanding is that season 1, they were like they did stuff and they tested it, and then season 2, they were like, okay, season 1 was really successful. We don't know if we'll get a season 3, so in season 2, let's do like all the really famous like Sherlock stories. Like let's do
I swear I said that last time.
Bohemia. Let's do like the Hound of the Baskervilles or whatever. Like we'll do all the important ones. Then they did it, and here we are. But yeah, Kyle, what do you think of this season? Generally,
no, you got to guess first.
I feel like it's okay. Just to give my opinion, which is very obvious, this is like night and day, like so much better than season 1 in basically every way. Like I enjoy this so much more. It reminds me why I like the show so much. So I feel like there is no way that you don't like this more. So I feel like you're probably gonna like it more. That's my guess. But what's the truth here?
Yeah, it's better. Whatever.
Okay, true, it is. Okay, I'm glad to hear.
There's nothing fun here.
What do you mean? It's just so fun. It's solving mysteries and stuff.
Well, nothing fun in my funny opinions I'm supposed to have, EliteAri.
Oh, okay, sure.
I didn't even dislike season 1. What's this review series even for?
Oh, we'll see as the seasons go on, okay? We'll see what you think, because the story will continue to shift.
Oh, well, EliteAri, that brings me to my first note. My overall note, EliteAri. Things that I have been spoiled on. Uh-oh. You ready?
Ahead.
There's 2 things on this list, EliteAri. The second one you're actually going to be mad at me about, so we'll save that one for the funny last.
Oh, no.
The other one is obviously watching this first episode. There's a naked lady, EliteAri. I say, I've seen this naked lady somewhere before, EliteAri. It wasn't on your local pornography site, you sicko. And it turned out I actually hadn't seen that actress anywhere before, but I did look on her Wikipedia to check, and it did have her credited in another episode, I believe in like season 4. So I knew she wasn't going to die, and there are a bunch of fake out deaths for her in this episode. So that, that was something. That's a spoiler, EliteAri.
No, just to say, just a character being credited doesn't mean they're in in that episode.
It could have been a flashback, sure, EliteAri, but I'm like, this character's obviously the best, so she's coming back.
Okay, so your prediction is
So
this character is coming back in the story at some episode in season 4, is what I'm hearing now.
Oh, EliteAri's being really arrogant right now, which would lead me to believe that he wants to throw this in my face when we get to that silly episode in season 4 or something, and she's just a flashback little something mention or something. But I think he's just leading me off the trail. So I think because of your attempt at reverse psychology, EliteAri, this young lady is coming back. She was saved at the end of the episode. We'll talk about that later. The second spoiler, EliteAri, are you ready to be angry? Where do you think I got the second spoiler from?
I don't even know what it could be. I have no idea.
I watched like 15 minutes of the Sherlock is garbage video, EliteAri, and
why
I
would
didn't get
you
spoiled
do that?
on anything
Why?
big.
Why would you do that? Why?
Because it was just right there.
That's so dumb.
I was watching some
I can't believe you did
Crash
that.
video.
That's so stupid.
And I clicked on it, and at the beginning, he was talking about old Sherlock Holmes. And I was like, oh, this is great. This is like the video essay thing where we talk about context for 15 minutes.
It's so
I
dumb.
didn't get spoiled on a plot point, EliteAri.
That's not what I care about.
Everybody calm down.
The point of going through this series is to get your opinions before you get like the opinions of everyone else. Why would you?
No. Shut up. I found out that everybody hates season 4. That's the only spoiler I found out. But so that has clouded my context and it's ruined the review series. I do agree with you, but I'm ready to love season 4 now. So that's
so what?
cool.
You didn't? There wasn't any other talking points that you picked up from that video?
Oh no, I didn't even stop. Like where we're up to, we just started talking about the first episode. And it's like 20 minutes into the video, so that's pretty cool.
Okay.
He did talk about shitty Doctor Who for a long time and about how Stephen Moffat ruined that show, so that was pretty epic. He doesn't like that guy, EliteAri. So I'll continue watching until I get an actual spoiler, okay?
No, don't watch anymore. Okay, Jesus Christ, that's the dumbest thing you've ever done. I don't know why you would have done that. Yeah, I'm genuinely not happy about this. I can't believe you did that.
I just want to watch the video. Can I just watch it?
No, you can watch it when we're done. Okay, unless we drop the show here, we'll see, and then you can watch all you want. But
the only point, because this sucks, so we're dropping it.
Yeah.
But the only point to consume anything is to watch big video essays on it. So I'm very excited.
Well, good. You gotta wait a little bit more though.
There was like a machine with like an eye in it from Doctor Who, and then it like flew away from Matt Smith. You know that one?
Yeah, it's the first episode, the 11th hour. That's the Atraxi, who are an international like galactic police.
No, there are a bunch of older looking episodes in that video, so that's not the first episode.
No, it is interesting because I don't know the lore. I tried to like look into it once on stream a long time ago, to why people hate Stephen Moffat so much when clearly it's like night and day. He is the best writer in Doctor Who. He's the best thing that ever happened to Doctor Who. It's like obvious. I don't understand why people don't like him so much. I guess it's because he became.
There was some very funny reason to that video. I'll tell you what.
I
like,
guess.
You know, Doctor Who is supposed to be about the people the Doctor meets, not the Doctor. That was my takeaway.
Yeah,
and then he started saying the same thing about Sherlock. Okay. He said Sherlock was good because it was episodic, and there's a bunch of overarching story nonsense going on here. So, you don't want to know another third little spoiler, EliteAri, that I just thought of right now?
What?
Is on the Great Torrents, EliteAri, because I steal this show because I'm a genius and I'll never be caught. The final episode is called The Final Problem, and that is something Moriarty says in these things, and then it looks like he's dead in the end of this episode. So I'm leading me to believe that that's an assumption from me that he ain't dead neither. Now, EliteAri, I almost opened the video screaming that Sherlock was dead, because that would have been really funny, because he wasn't dead at the end. That was crazy. But then I already did the Alive one, so, you know, I just made a joke about how we're not popular.
Indeed. Okay.
So that's my one note.
Well done. To me, I guess just to say about this season, to me, like I pretty much what we've said, which is it feels a lot more established this season. The characters, there's like a lot more characters. They all like have more to do. They're all like more present. The tone to me, although it is very different between especially the Hound of Baskerville versus the other two episodes, it feels a lot more consistent this season compared to last season. Which is a strange, like I don't know why I feel that. Yeah, I guess it is like but it's not even. It doesn't even feel more grounded or anything. Like the Hound of Baskerville one is like kind of like the whole time you're like, man, this is like kind of crazy. It just feels, I don't know, it just feels more consistent, and I like it a lot more. Another big thing in like how it feels like it's stepped up to me is that I have two versions of Moriarty in my head. There's the Moriarty from the end of last season, and then there's like Moriarty in this season. And to me, he feels so different. Like, I didn't want to say this last time, but I don't like Moriarty at the end of the last episode. He doesn't really feel like the same Moriarty that happens in this season. Which is interesting, because he, like, even is at the beginning of this first episode, and it's just like, they obviously wrote the same character, had the same guy. I don't know, it's just so different. Did you have any of that feeling? Like, would you? I guess this is a big
No, he
question.
felt the same to
But
me the whole time. I still
yeah,
didn't like him. I thought he was weird and over the top,
that's what I was
just
gonna
like he
ask.
was at the
Okay.
end of the last one.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
There was, I guess we'll talk about it more in the third episode. There were some interesting things in there, but then it was sort of like, oh no, that was just fake. So,
yeah,
I think the only other overall thing for me about the show is like it constantly being really wacky in parts, which does a little tonal, not whiplash. What do you call this? Tonal dissonance. That's a pretty smart word, EliteAri. I think we should go with that, even if that's not what I mean. The there are certain moments, and it was like the case with the Nosferatu thing, where it's like I feel like it's relatively grounded most of the time, and then something wacky will happen, and you'll be like, okay, and then you're like waiting for it to be fake or something. Like obviously, the mystery or so of the second episode is whether or not there's this big giant hound, and I think in that one they play with it really well of like trying to make it realistic. Now, obviously, there isn't a hound in the end, which is like sort of the twist. Though they do show a fake CGI hound, but it was just fake, so the CGI was terrible on purpose, EliteAri. So don't worry.
There was a dog though.
There was a poor little dog, the vegetarian gay guys or something.
Yeah.
Now, I was paying attention, you fucking idiot. Now, I guess it would have to talk about individual moments, but obviously Nosferatu from last time. It's been a very consistent inconsistency in the show, I guess. Like the ninjas in the basement and they're shooting an arrow at a guy. It's like, well, this is kind of silly, but it's like the show is wacky, but it also is like a semi-serious like police show sometimes, and you're like, oh, okay, and stuff like that. But obviously here there's a bunch of moments where it's like the weird Taliban thing at the end of the first episode where I'm like, is this real? And then I think I'm supposed to think it's real, but I was like so sure it wasn't real because it was so ridiculous. But like, I don't really care that it's so ridiculous. Well, this girl suddenly gets captured by the Taliban, and we're actually having the Taliban kill somebody in this show. That seems a little dark. And then,
okay, wait a minute. That
like he shows up there somehow and saves her somehow, and it's like, oh, okay. He did beat up a ninja guy, and then like a weird Arabian dressed guy before in a different episode too. But that was kind of silly there too.
No, I could absolutely understand Sherlock showing up there. Yeah, that's like kind of wacky. But before that, even before that, you were doubting it. I mean, like, I don't think this is real.
Like, yeah, and initially where I saw the first flashback, I was like, well, what is happening here? There's no way the Taliban is in this show or whatever.
Yeah, I don't understand that. What's that feel? Why do you have that feeling about this? I don't get it. Like,
I don't know. Why don't you become a psychiatrist and figure it out?
Well, I figured you'd be able to give me some insight, but I guess not. But interesting. Okay, I don't know.
It seems crazy. It seems wacky. It seems out. I feel like this is the time where ISIS is actually decapitating people. This is like the early 2010s. This is like a crazy thing to be in the Sherlock show.
Why? That's what I don't get. Okay, whatever. I don't. You have some reason that it's strange.
Very serious and dark, and we've all seen those decapitating videos.
I feel like Sherlock has a lot of just random, serious, dark things in it. Like, I don't see how that's any different.
It is true. Like, when she died, I did believe it the first time, because I don't think I had looked anything up yet. And because that did remind me of, like, the Chinese girl that died in episode 2. But the dying thing, no, it is. The dying thing is, like, surprisingly dark for the show. I feel like there was a moment in one of these episodes that was like that where somebody died.
What was Moriarty died.
Maybe it was just a girl and then she didn't do that. No, he's probably coming back too, I reckon. I feel like it was the second episode, but I don't remember either. Doesn't matter. But there was that moment. There were other ones. Oh, Sherlock, like, I don't know. We should probably save that for the episode 3 talk. There was some other moments, EliteAri. Why don't you help me out?
I don't even know.
Well, I guess
the first one I didn't agree with. The dog episode has a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, the dog stuff, like, but the point of the dog episode was like fucking with you to see if you'll believe that the dog is actually real. And how it plays with that part, I did like that episode, even though that's almost certainly the worst out of the 3 episodes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Let me tell you something. This first episode, obviously, there's a naked lady, and she's very mean, and she's the best, EliteAri. Obviously, this is going to be Kyle Entertainment's favorite episode. The second episode was pretty good, except for this dog guy. This guy sucked. Every time he was on screen, I was like, oh, maybe I should go do something else, because EliteAri hasn't told me that I have to watch this yet. Now, I did watch all these episodes like pretty consistently, But then the third episode happened to EliteAri, and oh my goodness, 40 minutes had gone by, and I hadn't even looked down. It was the greatest episode of all time.
That
So
is
episode
true.
3 is actually the best one.
Oh wow!
There's some weird stuff at the end we got to talk about.
That's really, I was not expecting that. I thought going into this, I'd been saying this for a long time. You could probably even search our messages, and I probably said like, oh, there's one episode in season 2 I think you'll like a lot. It was absolutely episode 1. I was like, yeah, it has everything Kyle's gonna like about it. And it is probably the easiest to like defend to the most people, like in terms of just plot and stuff. Like it's the most like, I don't know, wide appealing, I think. But yeah, me personally, the third one is my favorite episode as well. The Reichenbach Fall is like one of my favorite episodes of. It is my favorite episode of Sherlock. One of my favorite episodes of just anything, though. I like it a lot.
All downhill from here. EliteAri agrees with the sheep opinion. He hates season 4. This is crazy.
Well, we'll see. Okay, we'll see my opinions on that.
I remember another like jump the shark. Like I'm questioning whether or not I like this moment was when she did show up back alive. But I think I was just excited that she was alive that I just kind of ignored it, which is cute.
Sure.
It's like people can't fake their deaths. This is not real.
Yep. Well,
but then that happened again, I think, at the end. So, well.
All right. Okay. I think that's like basically what else is there overarching. Let me see if I have any notes. I feel like one other thing that's a bit different. Rank them? Oh, my ranking? Is that what you said? You like cut out of it. Definitely. It's interesting because the Reichenbach Fall is really good. I like it a lot. There was a moment when I was watching this and I got to the end of the first episode, A Scandal in Belgravia, where I was like, man, maybe this is better than the Reichenbach Fall. It has like it all ties in really nicely. It has like a bunch of different mysteries that all link together. It has plot twists. It has emotion. But it has everything. So that would be second. The reason it's not better than the Reichenbach Fall is purely because of our difference here in our experience, which is that Moriarty is obviously my favorite performance in this whole show, like by far.
Yeah.
And that's basically Moriarty's episode, the Reichenbach Fall. He has the best scenes in Sherlock are in that episode. Like it's just, obviously that's nothing was ever going to top it.
Do you think he's a really cool guy, EliteAri? Do you think this is a cool guy right here?
I think it's an interesting person, and we don't see him until a certain scene. It's really interesting. But the Baskerville one is like my third favorite. Well, third, I don't like it as much. Okay, it's better than all of season 1, but it's still the third of this season.
Wait, that's also, episode 2, right?
Yeah, the dog one.
You're being fancy with all these names.
Yes. You know, what can I
say?
The
dog one was good.
I agree. It was also good.
But then I was like the whole time, EliteAri, you know, I've talked about my viewing experience with a few things we watched this year. I remember famously, I watched the prequels where I would watch for 40 seconds, fall asleep for like 3 seconds, wake the fuck up and be like, ooh.
True.
And then watch like another 40 seconds. And I did that for like an hour one time to try and get through one of those movies. One of the worst viewing experiences of my life. The funny thing is, I don't really remember that as a viewing experience right now when I think of the movie. So it turns out you can watch movies like that and retain all the information. Yep. With the great second episode here, I was doing the thing where I was like, oh, I'll just watch like the first 10 minutes. Because I do that with Sherlock episodes usually. I'm like, oh, what's the premise? Now, this one starts off horribly. It's some kid running in the woods with a dog. I was like, haha, kill yourself. Usually they open with Sherlock and John Watson, EliteAri, and they're being cool. Actually, usually they don't. But if it opened with that would be pretty cool. But I watched it, and then I think I did stop after like 5 minutes and then came back the next day to watch the thing. And for the whole time, I was like, oh, I'll watch like 10 minutes, and then it'll be a little bit less I have to watch later. And I did end up finishing the episode. But the whole time, I was like, oh, I'll stop after this scene. And it's like a point in the show's favor that I kept watching, but it's also like every time a scene that mildly wasn't interesting to me, it was very not interesting to me because I was like, oh, turning this shit off now. And it was basically whenever that guy was on the screen, the kid.
Yeah, sure.
Or there was like a scene of the dog fake attacking somebody. I was like, ugh, can I get out of here? But if it was like, oh, the great John Watson and Sherlock are on screen, EliteAri, they're interrogating a guy. This is great. I'm glued to the screen. They get into that crazy lab place twice, EliteAri. That's interesting.
True. Thanks to the great Mycroft, who you said is like, I feel like you said he's going to be like a one-time character, but here he is. He's like becomes much more of a charker. He's in
every episode. I would never say something like that.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I think I said that obviously my Moriarty was going to kill him, EliteAri. That's what I said, I think.
Well.
Oh, I did make predictions. I usually listen back to things. You didn't listen back to them either. You're an idiot. You don't know how to run these things.
Yep. All right, we'll make some predictions.
I'll never know what I was right about.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about prediction. Oh, I guess I do got to make some. Moriarty's alive, EliteAri. Calm down.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, how he did it? Well, that's going to be another jump in the shark moment.
Perhaps we'll have to see. Now, let's just talk about
I
episode
did,
1, I guess.
you know,
I know you got more. Go ahead.
talking about the end of episode 3 for a second, EliteAri, you know, I did think both times, I was like, maybe it's twins. And then I was like, maybe Sherlock has a twin, and that's how he died on the ground there. But I don't know. I'll find. Obviously, that's not going to be the answer. You know, I'm just figuring out how they're not going to do it the whole time. So, you know, I just got to wait for next season. You know, they made a big deal about what's going to happen to this cliffhanger, and then I'm pretty sure nothing happened. Actually, I might not even remember how we got out of the pool situation.
Well,
he got called the leader.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Staying alive. And then that played at in episode 3 of Leader. You love that song.
I do like that song, yeah. And I know it from Sherlock, most likely. I don't even know if I knew it before Sherlock. But
you're an embarrassment.
Yep. Okay. Episode 1 is Scandal in Belgravia, written by the great Stephen Moffat. Directed by Paul, I don't know how to say his name, Paul McGuigan or something, who directed the first 2 episodes of this season, and then the last episode was directed by someone else who we'll talk about later. So this is based on, you know, I did some research here, A Scandal in Bohemia, which is the original. Apparently it's like a short story. It's not like a really long one, like the other 2 episodes, which are pretty long stories, I think, which is the introduction of Irene Adler. And basically, I'm pretty sure, I read like a plot summary
now,
of the original book. Yeah.
There's a whole explanation here. Obviously, when a lady shows up named Irene Adler, you're like, this is obviously a Sherlock character. We're all swaying out right now. Was I correct?
Yes, this is she got introduced from the novel.
Yeah, I can identify these things from a fucking mile away, EliteAri. I know, even if there's a millisecond of pause for the audience to realize. Show me any comic book movie, EliteAri. A side character shows up, I'm gonna know.
Yes. I feel like one time you thought it was someone, but it just wasn't. I don't remember what it was, though.
Why would I ever be wrong?
That is true. Good point.
I'm a foolproof.
Yeah. So, as far as I understand, I think the like earlier part of this episode is like basically what the story is, where Sherlock gets tasked with like, oh, there's like this person who has like compromising information about some crown person, and you need to go get the safe or something, and they do it. And I think like that's like the whole original story, but this obviously builds on that and has like much more after that as well. But yeah. So I guess we've already talked about it, but overall, what do you think of this episode? Do you have any high-level things you want to talk about?
Well, you know, I watched this one like probably like a week ago, so it's all left my brain. But I remember this lady was pretty cool, and Sherlock, I remember not liking the ending, EliteAri, or it confused me a little bit. So
well, we can talk about it. So I think for me,
I feel like that's the case with every episode.
Okay, the next episode has definitely got a confusing ending. I guess the last one also.
No, not confusing. That I didn't like it too much.
Oh, you didn't like it?
The other 2, I think I figured out pretty fine.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I like the ending. It was good. I was so emotional. I was invested. Oh my god, she's alive. But this episode...
No, the ending before that. The actual climax, EliteAri. Not people being alive. Whether or not she loves Sherlock or not.
Okay. Did you know about the Sherlock thing? Did you know the password to the phone or not? I'm curious.
No, I didn't. I was thinking it was a number, obviously.
Okay.
I did think they should have tried the 221B thing. Oh,
which you did.
That was like a problem with the dog episode, is that I think I figured it out like way before they did, where I was like, oh, it's probably a drug thing or something.
Well,
because we talked about that last time, but I guess we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I don't think that's... Or we'll talk about it. Okay. I like this episode a lot. It has... I don't know how to describe it, but it's so dense compared to last season and compared to like I guess most episodes this season as well.
That did seem
like
the case.
There's like basically at the beginning of this episode, it's like a compilation of all these cases that Sherlock is refusing, and eventually they all like tie into the grander mystery as well. And there's like just plot wise, like so many things happen in this episode. It all ties in together. There's like a bunch more characters than like usual. There's a lot of like witty dialogue and stuff, and there's actually good jokes that were funny. Obviously a big character's introduced, so that's like a lot of stuff going on here. It has like
a big returning character who's in season 4, episode 2.
Oh, okay, sure. No, she gets her one-time appearance here, which we'll see if she shows up later. And we get Sherlock's hat is introduced here. Isn't that crazy? Oh my goodness, he's got his crazy hat that I'm sure you hate.
He has all of the olden time thing.
Yeah.
Because it's an olden time hat. Now, EliteAri, you did point out a good thing here that I'd forgotten about. At the beginning, they are doing a bunch of interviews with a bunch of weird things, and Sherlock does figure the things out very quickly, or is bored and dismissively figures them out, or doesn't do them, or something. All of them came back somehow later. I do remember that now too, and that's just like the Naruto pain arc. So I registered that while I was watching. I was like, oh yeah, Naruto probably did it first though.
Well done. Okay, so
see. Planting seeds here, so later you'd just be so excited to watch Naruto. Yeah,
maybe.
Also truly. Now, first note here of relevance for me. Now, later, so you see, I have staying alive lols. Now, I don't think I meant to put the S there, but it's lol, EliteAri, you see, because lols that sounds lame. I would never say something like that. My next note here, which you skipped over because you're an idiot, says the intro is different. True.
Is it? I didn't even notice. The song's the same.
Definitely some different shots because there's a yes, the song is the same, EliteAri. There's shots of them with the flashlights from the second episode in Belgravia.
Baskerville.
One of them's Belgravia. Now the and there's other different shots of like the city stuff. So you're an idiot. You don't notice these things, but I did. Now also, EliteAri, big important thing here. The apartment looks a little bit different. You know,
I didn't notice
there was
that.
Different wallpaper on it or something. Because remember, they got blown up last time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But it was also not the wall blown up. It was the different wall, and there was different wallpaper on it.
Well,
and it was what all those people were sitting in front of. Yeah, you did that too, but it was different. It was something about it was different. Don't be second guessing me.
Maybe they got a better
set.
set.
They were all sitting in front of it when they got the. Obviously, that's what happened to EliteAri.
Oh, okay.
But stop breaking the fourth wall. But it was different looking. Immediately, you're like, "Oh, this is season 2 now." Yeah.
All right. True.
Famous internet guys, they like being meta and stuff. That was my next note, EliteAri, because John Watson has a blog, EliteAri, and it's popping off, but not so much. He was only getting like 2,000 hits.
That is true.
And then Sherlock thought that was the code, but he was just being silly.
Yeah. Now, so this is like something that becomes the overarching story of the season, right? About Sherlock's fame and the public perception and everything. Yeah.
But true, just like the show got famous in season 1, so that's pretty epic. That was what the meta was referring to there. Now, also, EliteAri, you know what was really funny now that I'm thinking about it? The moment where he puts the code in, because I think it's the first time he guesses the phone code, and he's like, it's like, obviously, this, because somebody's hacked the thingy to freeze the hits page or whatever, and it turns out not to be true. Now that I think about it, it is like an interesting moment, because you totally believe that could be the case. But the fact that it isn't the case, there's not really any merit to it. It kind of, because this isn't a problem, but it is obviously what everybody that dislikes the show is going to complain about, is that like the deduction stuff doesn't make sense if you think about it, which is almost certainly true, I would assume. Because there's obviously a million other potential explanations for everything Sherlock says, where he's like, well, you know, there's hair on your leg and it's only this thing, so the dog is only, you got a dog and it's only this tall or something. Now obviously maybe it's somebody else's dog that you ran into on the street or something, but we don't care about that, EliteAri. We're smarter viewers than that. We just think it's cool in the moment, and he's just always right. Maybe he's just a lucky guy and not a smart guy, and that would be an equally interesting EliteAri. Now, but it is funny because that moment is kind of a quintessential moment, and the fake out moments, it almost just feels like you're at the whim of, I guess, the show or the pacing of the show to be whether or not that's correct. Which is obviously the case in every story, but it feels more pronounced here because you have to think about it because it's like a puzzle you're trying to solve. But my point here, EliteAri, is that doesn't matter.
Okay. I think the only thing I'd say about the phone thing is that, like, it's not so much it's like a thing where he gets multiple guesses, right? So it's like he's just putting in whatever he thinks is the most likely, and he's probably getting a little fed up of like not having an answer. So it like feeds into his character a little bit. It's like he's impatient. It must be this. What else could it be? It's like his arrogance, and he like does it quickly. I think it's nice. I don't really think much about it afterwards.
Yeah, you don't think a lot about much, EliteAri.
That is true. Okay, so stepping back, the cliffhanger is resolved. Staying alive. I thought you said something about that. But what do you... Basically, the way it was resolved is that Moriarty's about to kill them, and then he gets a phone call from Irene Adler, and is like, say that again! And he gets mad, and is like... he changes his mind, and then walks away, and then we get, like, the introduction of Irene Adler, who's... whipping something as she, like, walks into the room, and... I don't know. Was this a satisfying resolution?
My goodness. I don't remember.
All right, lovely. Okay, I would say I don't know. This was the part of the episode I was the least into. I just wish they didn't have to resolve this cliffhanger because it was a kind of boring cliffhanger. Oh my god, are they gonna get shot and blown up? No, and here we are. So yeah,
I did realize like because of the timeline of the third episode, I was like, oh, this is going to be another cliffhanger, which it really like it ended up being a cliffhanger. Well, kind of because we got the last shot, I guess. This is all like episode 3 stuff that we should be talking about, but I did realize that like, oh, the Sherlock thing is probably to end the season with a cliffhanger. So that was interesting because I had the feeling we didn't have enough time to resolve the conflicts in episode 3, but then it kind of just did happen. So I guess this was going to relate to episode 1 here somehow, EliteAri, but
about the cliffhanger from last season.
I can't be true. And it was Irene Adler on the phone, which I probably didn't know at the time. But when they're introducing this young lady, EliteAri, they mirror her Sherlock a bunch of times, where she's like flipping through something, and then Sherlock's flipping through something, and then you cut back, and it's because you don't see her face for a little while, and it's a bunch and what's going on there, and then she says "Your Highness" dramatically, but you're like, it's not actually Your Highness. She's probably just doing some little joke thing, and it's a little trick. I'm not going to fall for it, show. And then it supposedly was. Now I wonder if this is supposed to be a mirror, like it's supposed to be an implied member of the royal family, like a gay little girl or something, or is it a boy? I feel like thought it was a girl. It
is a girl because
but I don't know enough about the royal family.
I think they were trying to hide that as a scandal. I think, from memory.
True, I suppose that would add. It's 2012, EliteAri. We can't be gay yet. 2014 is when gay marriage is legalized in America, and that's when it was. That means that the rest of the world too. Now, something I was thinking about something, EliteAri.
All right, true. So let's.
Oh, because she tries to be gay a little bit, EliteAri, because you're sad when she says that she's gay one time, because that means her and Sherlock can't get married. But I don't know. Maybe there's still hope. Episode 4 of season 2. Season 2 of episode 4.
I guess we'll have to see. She is alive, unless the thing at the end was fake and it was a dream. But yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was fake, EliteAri. There's no way the Taliban was in the show.
Yeah, true.
It was just a wish. It was just him. It was just a wishful imagination of what could have been. But then the phone went off, and that's when I was like, "Oh no, it's actually real."
All right.
Stop jumping ahead.
I'm going one by one through my giant scene recap, and we're on scene 3 out of like 50, okay? So scene 3, Sherlock takes on the case of the hiker and the backfire. What do you think of this case? Do you remember this
I remember.
case?
This is actually spoiler number 4, EliteAri, is like every comment on that Sherlock video, that H Bomber guy video, was making fun of the boomerang thing and about how they still didn't understand how that happened. And for a second I went, oh yeah, I guess that doesn't. I don't even really remember how that was resolved either. So that must.
What's wrong with this? This one was very easily resolved. Are you sure it was about this?
I don't remember how it was resolved. It was a boomerang, EliteAri. That's where we're from.
Yeah, I think people make fun of the boomerang thing because it's like a boomerang, and it's like people are like, "That's so silly," but it's like, I don't know, it's not. I don't know what to say.
They're belittling out.
Yeah, I think unironically, I think that's what they're doing. Yeah,
of which both of us are very much a part of. So
yeah, it's a bit disrespectful, honestly. Yeah.
Yes.
But
now I have a real note. But,
oh wow!
Oh, is Jarkey Bacon back?
Bacon's here for this discussion.
Hello.
Go ahead, Bacon.
Trying to guess what it is. I don't know.
Oh, you know.
It's not Chainsaw Man, is it?
No, Chainsaw Man was the other day, Bacon. You'd do good to remember that.
I know. That's the only thing I know.
It's a TV show.
From your Isle of the World.
Sherlock.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, Sherlock season 2, episode 1. We're on, Bacon. Would you like to give your opinion?
Robert Downey Jr. was better.
That's just not true. I mean, you know what? We could watch the movies after this because he's Sherlock in the movies.
Oh, yeah. I was saying the Sherlock guy was pretending to be Iron Man last time, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a naked lady in this episode.
That is true.
Crazy.
Bacon, do you know anything about Sherlock? Or the original or this show?
Sorry?
Do you know anything about Sherlock in terms of like the books or like even the show or anything?
No, I think I've read some of the short stories about Sherlock.
Oh wow!
But
that's more
I actually don't know much about him.
No, I've read a bunch of books.
All right.
Oh my god, how many movies is this idiot in? I see at least 2 posters.
I think there's at least 2 movies, and I think I've seen both of them. I don't remember them. The only thing I remember is the big mean fight. It was the same
time he was Iron Man. What the hell's going on? I never heard of this in my whole life.
They're actually pretty good. I think there's 2 of them. Yeah.
I remember liking them.
Anyway, I was just here to hound you guys about doing a
Hound.
Hounds.
Oh my god, like the second episode of season 2, Hound, Jarkey Bacon. Was that a great reference?
Yeah, it was a great reference.
Never underestimate
about-
this young fella's smart.
Yeah, about getting the survey in before you use. I thought it was good stream content.
Oh,
True.
yes.
I remember when Kyle did the
I'm actually
last
going to do it this
survey.
time.
I got him all right.
The method of data collection was not conducive to 80 people. Like I have to go and manually enter the data myself. So now I've got a better setup.
Lovely. All right. Now what do we do?
Yeah.
Do we just keep going? Bacon, you want to join in our discussion?
No, I
All
just I've got to leave now. Got to go.
Oh.
Someone not here.
Oh, that's a.
Oh.
You know what? Some of this audience might. You know, we don't have an audience right now. No one's listening. The last one got 69 views. All right. I don't.
Nice.
So yeah, Vinland Saga. True.
Yeah, it's a funny number, Bacon.
It is. Yeah.
Hmm.
Guys, leave a comment
And
if you're
expect
listening right
Cowboy
now.
Bebop soon as well.
True.
Can we get some fuck Jarkey Bacons in the comments if you made it this far?
Yeah.
That'll
Best
be our
JB
talent.
since Justin Bieber.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, episode 24 of Cowboy Bebop's a little bit
Hey,
overrated,
no
Jarkey Bacon.
spoilers. And you're
Oh.
spoiling your discussion as well.
We're recording in a few days. It's all right.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll leave you to it, Ari. I don't want to take your time away from this man.
Oh,
True. He has a
Ari?
limited battery. My goodness.
All right. See you, folks.
All right.
revoir.
Bye bye.
au revoir.
Sayonara. All right.
He keeps collecting nationalities, this guy.
What were we up to? What were we talking about? The backfire thing.
I was
right?
looking
The
up
boomerang
movies,
thing.
EliteAri, and look, there's a movie from 1981 called The Hounds of Baskervilles. Crazy.
that makes
Should we watch
sense.
that one?
It is a book. That had a long plot summary on Wikipedia that I didn't read any of because it was really long. And I was
2
like,
hours
"Yeah."
and 34 minutes.
Yep, that's real.
That's crazy. What do you think the letterbox score is? Hold on. I'm just clicking.
Mhm.
4 stars. That's more than challenges. I was
Must be
mad
really
about
good.
it getting 3.9 again today. And Honora has a 3.9. These fucking idiots wouldn't know a good movie if it didn't in their EliteAri. You ever notice that?
Are you sure it's not the episode from Sherlock?
No, because it said 1981.
Okay, just checking. All right, then back to this episode. The hiker in the backfire. What happened? What's your recap? Do you remember this at all? What was the mystery? What was the solution? I can tell
there
you.
there was a guy in a car.
True.
Shut up, EliteAri.
You
I'm
got this,
figuring
keep
it out.
going,
There was a
yeah.
guy in a car, and his like tail light or something. I have no idea what that means, EliteAri. Exploded. Something on the back of the car. Thus tail. And it was probably a light. Thus light. Tail light. You understand?
His car broke down.
Now, no, something exploded, and at the same time, this idiot in the distance fell down. Now, this idiot in the distance was like a sports guy or something. So, I have no idea where the boomerang came from.
All right, so
Oh, who cares, EliteAri? Great scene where she's sitting on a couch, and then the couch is in the field.
we're getting there.
Oh,
We're getting there. It is really good. The directing is really good in this episode. But
that continued. That was the most interesting, coolest thing about the first season. It was even better this time, EliteAri.
all right, yeah, that is true. Okay, let's just talk about this thing because it does tie into the Iron Atlas stuff. But yeah, what happened is, firstly, Sherlock goes remotely, right? So he doesn't actually go there, and he pieces it together. He pieces together that basically the
Hold on, everybody. I got my joke here that I wrote down.
mm,
Pretty good streaming setup for 2012. Got him. You couldn't stream into the middle of nowhere and get perfect image quality. You fucking 2012, that fucking little idiot show. Anyway, keep going.
why do you? I don't know why you think that. Okay.
Because first of all, streaming video came out in like 2017 or something. Second of all, 2012, I was in grade 6. Laptops didn't even exist then.
Have you heard of FaceTime? Like, I don't know. Like
FaceTime
Skype.
was invented in
Ever
like
heard of Skype?
2019.
When did Skype come
Skype
out?
existed, but it was you couldn't see anything on a laptop camera. What are you
I don't
talking
know.
about?
You're just, I don't know. You're technologically ill-informed. That's okay.
Just like that, Find My iPhone was invented in Sherlock 2 years before this.
Yeah, true. Okay, the guy was traveling, okay? He was, firstly, the car backfired, which is what set off the thing at the back. It, like, made a noise. I don't know what backfiring is. Don't ask me. That's what they say in the show, though. And then when that noise goes
Backfired,
off,
that's that.
the hiker guy, who's someone who has traveled around the world and recently come back, he was testing out his boomerang, and he looks at the car, and the boomerang comes and hits him in the head, and he dies.
And the boomerang comes back to you, and he got hit in the head.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
the
god, it
boomerang-
makes so much sense.
And there's no evidence because the boomerang gets washed down the stream and then they don't find it. But then Sherlock immediately says, like, oh, go check down the stream. You'll find the murder weapon. But he doesn't tell us what happened until later because then Irene Adler wants to know what happened. So she pieces it together without without getting Sherlock to explain it.
Because she's a smart girl, and that's why she's perfect for Sherlock.
Yeah, because she enjoys smartness. Like, she likes solving the mystery. She likes it as much as Sherlock. And that's why she has a fascination with Sherlock because of, like, he's good at it, you know? he's competent. It's interesting. It's cool. Yeah.
Now that's crazy. Because I remember this guy was looking off into like the mountains or something. So my assumption until about 30 seconds ago was that like somebody threw the boomerang at him from the mountain and it hit him in the head and then he died.
No.
There's just a murder on the loose that Sherlock let get away, I guess.
No. He murdered himself with the boomerang. It was crazy. All right.
But gotta be careful with them boomerangs, huh?
Apparently, yeah.
How does a boomerang kill anybody? It's just a stick, EliteAri.
Just
now
a stick? How could you say it? And also, a boomerang can be metal. It doesn't have to be like...
How does it go through the... No, you can't throw something at somebody and it kills them. That's crazy.
True, but not true. You could definitely kill a... You could...
How does it like... How does... It's not even buoyancy. That's what's in the water. How does air pressure work, EliteAri? Is that the right phrase? Where you throw it and it comes... That's not possible.
True, but it does. It's magic. Yeah, it just works.
Yeah, just like Sherlock's deductions. What a shitty show.
Yeah, that was the boomerang thing. Now, on top of this, now the actual part of the episode, they go and they're recruited by Mycroft, by the Crown, and then they have to go and break into Irene Adler's house. So Sherlock comes up with a great plan. He's going to get punched by Watson, and then they're going to pretend that they need help, and they're going to go to a front door and ring the doorbell, and they're going to get let in. But it turns out she already knew that he was coming, and he was just embarrassing himself, and she didn't know. He didn't know.
First off, Sherlock was naked. It was hilarious, EliteAri.
True.
He's just such a cute, wacky guy.
Yep.
Now, EliteAri, you don't know if you haven't passed over this part, so I'll see if you say this next part before you say it. But so you're telling me that they're going to meet they do meet the great girl here, and she does walk in naked. That was pretty cool. But it was all covered up, EliteAri, because we're on network television.
True.
Now, what do you think network television means, EliteAri? Because does that mean free to air? Because that's what we call it in Australia when something's on the 9 network.
I think that is what that means.
I don't know what network. Oh yeah, because 9 network. In America, they say network TV. And that's the free ones, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Because through a network. Don't say like you know any of
I'm fairly
this.
sure that's the case. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what's happening.
And then pay TV is different, EliteAri. Of course, that's the great Foxtel over here.
Yeah, cable.
So that's what that means. That's why, because these Americans are always like, I'm cutting the cable. Who even has cable anymore? And I say, what the fuck is cable? But you're telling me cable is Foxtel. Now that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
You got Foxtel at your house? We still got Foxtel.
Absolutely not. No.
You know, if you get Foxtel now, it comes with like Stan. No, it definitely doesn't come with Stan, but it definitely comes with Binge and Netflix and Amazon and everything included. So that's pretty cool, huh?
Yep. So Irene Adler's naked. She's walking in, and Sherlock is trying to figure out where the safe is. So they set off a smoke alarm, and she like looks at the safe, and it's crazy, and they figure it out.
Like her child. Now, EliteAri, this is an important part. Because obviously Sherlock didn't have any girlfriends in all of season 1. And we've all been speculating over the last 2 years. We've all fallen in love because we're pretty young girls, EliteAri. And by pretty young girls, I mean probably nerdy 30-something-year-olds.
On Tumblr,
But we all love the great Benedict Cumberbatch. He's the sexiest man alive. So obviously we're going to start the season with giving him a girlfriend, EliteAri. And my goodness, didn't we?
Yep.
So it was a big payoff, EliteAri, is what we're saying. That he finally had a lady he was interested in. Because he seemed too autistically... he didn't know that women existed. You know that poor Molly girl, EliteAri? He didn't even
Oh boy, we'll talk about that.
Even know.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, we're gonna get to it, EliteAri.
Oh god.
Now, don't worry, we're rooting for her, EliteAri. She's gonna get the man in the end.
I guess we'll have to see. I do like the way that they show that he actually is interested in her, where he like stutters for a second. Where she's like, Brainy is the new sexy or something like that. How did you solve the case? He's like, position the cut, and he like stutters and like has to say it again. It's like really funny, and I like it. Good guy, good writing. Stephen Moffat, what a great guy he is. So yeah,
he's a genius.
Yep, he is. And then the Americans break in, and Sherlock has to figure out the safe key. What do you think?
The CIA or something's here, EliteAri.
Yeah, I think it's pretty.
Is it funny when there's now this has to be what we call intentional, EliteAri. But isn't it funny? You're always watching a great British TV show, and an American shows up, and you're like, this is the most American-sounding guy you've ever heard in your life, EliteAri, like this guy from this episode. But sometimes, EliteAri, you think you're just losing all of your culture, and you just hear an American guy, and he doesn't even sound American, he just sounds normal. And that's what 90% of American people sound like to me. They don't even sound like they've got accents. But sometimes, EliteAri, in a British show, an American shows up, and my goodness, does he sound American.
It is
so
true.
They probably just choose the most American guy, or it's just a British guy doing an American caricature accent. What do you reckon?
If I were to guess, it didn't sound like any American accent I'd heard before, so I assumed it was like just a British guy doing it. But I guess it could just be like an American accent that's like from a certain location.
It does sound like bass, like like the base generic American accent, which he did, sounds like really stupid, right? The guy sounds like a moron. He's like, it sounds like airheady or something, you know, like when a girl's an airhead and she like
I don't know about this.
overpronounces words or something, and she
Okay.
like. That's how he was speaking EliteAri, and that's how like the generic, but it's a specific type of generic American because it's not like a Boston accent EliteAri. We all know what that sounds like. It sounds like he's gonna rob you. And a New York accent, that's a funny guy from a Spider-Man movie. And then there's like California or something, which is like some yuppie little Yahoo or something. That's like some racist terms for white people, I think. But I think I fucked up both of them. And, you know, there's a Southern EliteAri. We know all the great Southerners down there. You know, they sound like Hicks. And then there's this guy. I don't know where he's supposed to be from because those are all the popular places in America. So he's just from...
he could be
Midwest?
from anywhere.
I don't know.
Who knows? Who cares?
But anyway, it's a funny thing that happens all the time, EliteAri, and I was like, it's happening again. It must happen in like Fleabag or something. I'm trying to think of the other British shows I know, but I've run out.
It happens in Doctor
Black
Who.
Sails had Americans everywhere. Doctor Who, that's possible. My favorite show.
Yep.
But anyway, he killed this guy. This is another thing when people just get killed in Sherlock, and you're like, am I supposed to?
He didn't kill him, right? But
wait, I swear the one guy died, right?
He threw him out the window, and then later on he's at the plane scene, but he's got like a cast on.
Yes, that
he's, like,
guy comes back.
Yeah.
But there's one guy
you're right. They get shot.
The
yeah, that is true. Well, we don't know if they
die.
die. Yeah, they do get shot, definitely.
He just killed a CIA guy. That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's nothing they can really do to get back at them. But yeah, he is dead.
The great Mycroft is protecting him, of course.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. We also don't know if it is the CIA. It could be like some unofficial, like, a group just working there, like some crazy vigilante group.
True, it could be American mobsters, I suppose. Yeah. Though they didn't seem Italian, EliteAri.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So, yeah, Irene Adler,
it was her boob size or something?
Yeah, it was her measurements, like her chest, her waist, her...
Okay, EliteAri, you don't gotta... Oh, EliteAri wants to name them all. What a creepazord.
I'm trying to think. What's the third one? It's like, it'd be the chest, it would be the waist. Oh, the hips, right? That had to be the hips or something, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
In my head, they were the same thing, the waist and the hips, but I suppose they're different.
Yes. All right. So they kill the Americans.
I think I wear large, EliteAri, if you want to know my measurements.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear it.
EliteAri wears small. He's a little short guy.
That is true. Irene Adler knocks out Sherlock and takes the phone. And then that's when we get the scene
she
where
stabbed
he's
him
like...
with drugs, EliteAri.
That is
not
true.
The dog drug, a different one.
Yeah, with the sex drugs, yeah.
Because EliteAri, you fell for it. I was like, oh, this girl, and we're on the same team, and we've just won her over, and we're going to be on the run with her. And then she backstabbed her, and you're like, this is how all the no good harlots are in these movies, EliteAri. I should have seen this one coming, but I didn't. Because I was trying to be coming with Sherlock, if you know what I mean. You just fell for... Don't fall for these harlots in these streets, EliteAri. That's what you got to keep in mind.
Yes. Which is, I guess, the true thing that happened, because she was playing him the whole episode, even right till the end, basically.
I'm still trying to figure this out, EliteAri. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Sherlock gets knocked out, and that's when we get the scene where he's, like, explaining the hiker mystery, and she's, like, figuring it out on her own. We got the bed shot where the bed is, like, ascending into the frame, and he's, like, kind of falling down, and it like, transitions to him sleeping, and it's, like, so cool.
That was the coolest shot of all time, EliteAri. I stopped paying attention to you for 1 second, but I caught back on in the end. There were some great shots in this one. She was on a couch in a field, EliteAri. It was the greatest.
It's probably the most memorable thing in this episode.
It's like a metaphor. They went somewhere together, EliteAri. They connected.
Yes, into their shared mind palace or something like that. You know.
No, Mind Palace was from a later episode.
We'll talk about that. Anyway, he wakes up and he has a new text tone. What do you think of the text tone?
He was moaning, EliteAri. What a great prank from the great John Watson.
Huh? What do you mean? Wait, okay.
Wait, isn't Watson the one that did it, or was he just laughing about?
It was Irene Adler who did it. That was the...
Well, I guess that makes the thing in the end more sentimental to them.
And it makes whenever he gets a text
Watson
from her more like
intimate.
Yeah, he was like, what's that? He was confused by it. Yeah, it was her who said it.
Oh, it's probably her moaning too. I was like, oh, he just downloaded a porn sound.
Okay.
Because people would do that. If you ever get the prank where somebody would send you the voice note and it was like 3 seconds long, but it was just like ear rape a girl moaning. So even if you had headphones on, everybody around you would hear a very loud moaning sound.
I don't get voice notes.
That's happened to me like 3 times in my life.
Oh, wow. That sucks.
I was just getting pranked out here.
Yeah, and Sherlock got pranked too, but not by John, by his girlfriend.
And you see, pals do that to each other. Girls don't moan. So, it was obviously John Watson.
Yes. Okay. Then
Christmas party. Let's
Christmas
go.
party indeed. So John has a new girlfriend, and Sherlock.
Oh my God, EliteAri!
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say?
No. Game of Thrones.
It's Rob Stark's wife, EliteAri. Talisa.
That is true.
I had
She
to
is
look
in
it up.
this.
I was like,
Oh, really?
"Where's this girl from?" And then I was very mad that I didn't get it immediately.
Yep.
But she was. I was like, "Oh, great! The next great main character here. This is awesome." And she wasn't around for very long, EliteAri.
Yeah, she didn't want to compete with Sherlock. But we have some great dialogue from the great Stephen Moffat here. Sarah was the doctor, then there was the one with the spots, then the one with the nose, then who was after the boring teacher? Nobody.
She was the boring teacher, EliteAri. Genius.
Yep, genius, indeed.
But then John Watson even fucked it up later, EliteAri. He didn't realize she didn't have a dog.
Or whatever, yeah. Oh.
He's a low-key player, this John Watson. He's got a new girlfriend every week.
Yep. It is true. He's had a lot of girlfriends. It was very funny last season when you were talking about how, like, oh, he's got his girlfriend, and, like, they're still girlfriend and boyfriend at the end of the season, and you thought they'd be, like, a character of the season. It's just, she's not.
Whatever happened to that young lady, we'll never know.
Yep. Anyway, now we get the most...
It's a Spider-Man thing, EliteAri. Sherlock keeps getting in the way of all of his great relationships. It's just like every Spider-Man cartoon, every Spider-man movie. It's just so sad to see it happen.
He's just too dedicated to his job, you know?
You want to... you definitely skipped over about 3 gay jokes, EliteAri.
I don't remember. Maybe. I guess it's possible.
There's lots of them.
Okay. Sherlock deduces that Molly has a new boyfriend.
The present, EliteAri. I'm crying.
Yeah.
That was my next note.
God, it was so embarrassing. It's like, oh my goodness. I don't even know how to... It's just... It's so bad. It's bad. But it was so good. I liked it.
I mean, it is a scene that's in everything, but it was pretty good here.
Yeah, because it's like... I mean, Sherlock's using his deduction, but it's like it feeds in so well with the fact that he just like doesn't have any social awareness sometimes, and
there has to be the Sherlock archetype, because the last time I said he was just like Robert Downey Jr. in the Avengers or whatever. But he's like very obviously there is a massive difference here where Robert Downey Jr. is like Iron Man's autism, EliteAri. What's his fucking name? Tony Stark's autism is like Tony Stark is fucking EliteAri. He's a cool guy. He's in tune. He's like super. He's not even autistic. He's like autistic without having to be autistic. Like he's the genius, but he's also got the social skills. Old Sherlock over here doesn't like girls until this episode because he hasn't caught on yet. Because he's like got the brain of a 7-year-old, but he's also a genius. You understand? But the way they yap EliteAri and how they get to be the coolest characters, because it's the early 2010s, EliteAri, and we're just gonna monologue about how we figured out everything that's going on. Genius, EliteAri, great character. A little annoying. Always riding the line on whether or not it's annoying or good. But you know, it's usually good in Sherlock. But there has to be other characters like this.
Well,
and I feel like because you can. I mean, this is the video, EliteAri. It's this character archetype. We're gonna think of a name, and then there's like 2 categories of these characters. There's the Tony Stark guys that are really, really cool, and then there's the Sherlock guys that are like nerdy and
there's a really obvious
not
character.
Good at social stuff.
Which you don't really
What's
know.
the character, EliteAri? Tell me.
Oh, it's the great...
No,
it's the Doctor from Doctor Who. Also written by Stephen
God.
Moffat to be very similar to Sherlock sometimes. Yep. It is true, though. They have very similar kind of dialogue and stuff, and it's an interesting character.
That's just Britishisms, EliteAri. You're an idiot.
True.
There has to be more characters like this, EliteAri. But I also think it was very much it's like a trend of characters that I feel like has very much died. So it's very interesting going back to the moment when they were like in full power, EliteAri. And I feel like this is another thing, because I'm constantly thinking about how people are going to shit on the show just because of this dumb video, even before I watched it. So I'm like, this is definitely something, because it is the same thing with Marvel humor, where it's like, as soon as it becomes so much of criticism, EliteAri, I'm a genius, I just figured out life, is observing something, then pointing it out with like a chastising tone or a mocking tone, EliteAri. And then you've ruined it. It's like this is the thing that people say in comment sections, EliteAri. They set them under my videos. I've seen them a million times where they say, like, you ruined it for me. Now, I don't know how anything gets ruined for anybody. That's retarded. How you have your own thoughts, EliteAri. And stop being peer pressured isn't the right word, but we'll go with it for now. But I feel like this is very easily something you could mockingly present, like you could have a sentence mocking it, show the clip from the show, then have another sentence making fun of it afterwards, and oh my god, you've destroyed the show, EliteAri. Oh, it's fucking dead. Sherlock is a little autistic boy who just rants, and that's lame, Lamau. Just like Rocket Raccoon's going to make a joke at the end of this heartfelt monologue to do the thingy, and oh no, it's ruined forever. And it's like a thing everybody knows now to identify and not like. It's like the thing when people turned on subversions because of your shitty Star Wars movie. It's like a trend. We were all Game of Thrones for a little while, kind of in the same period. We were all doing the little twists and the little turns, and then it didn't. And then it killed Star Wars, so we all stopped doing it. And now we just get normal movie. We get normal, fucking run of the mill, the boringest, genericest shows you've ever seen, like shitty Arcane. And oh my god, and everybody pretends it's good, and you're like, what has happened to my society? Sherlock, we need more Sherlock's, EliteAri, and less Arcanes. That's what I'm saying here today. And
very true.
What do you say, Solo? Solo's a great movie. How about you kill
the most
yourself?
Generic movie of all time, yeah.
Correct, EliteAri. That's what you are right now.
All right. So Sherlock has a character moment here where he like apologizes to Molly, and it's very cute. And John is like shocked by it, and it's I think it's very cute. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
Why now is he apologizing to her?
Because he realized that he humiliated her.
Now, EliteAri, let me preface this point here with I'm shipping him, EliteAri. I'm the biggest fan, even though this great naked lady is here. He's gonna kiss Molly in the end. It's gonna be epic, and we're all gonna soy out, okay? But like, they have to do it right, EliteAri. He can't just decide he values her at some point, and it can't be heartfelt like it was here, and it was in the 3rd episode. So I'm not liking where this is going, but I hope it happens.
I don't know what you're saying. What was wrong with the apology here? You said you didn't like this?
Because he should have just said, fuck you, and she should have run away. But it's because we felt bad for her and we would have lost Sherlock. So they did inconsistent characterization here, where Sherlock was acting out of character, and I didn't like it. Now, I believe what I just said, EliteAri, about 30%, I'll say. And that was enough for me to pull up a little bit in this moment. Also, I don't like genuine moments of emotion in anything. So I don't like when Sherlock does it when he's supposed to be especially... No, but that's cool. They're like negging each other, so...
Well, that's not genuine if you're negging. I mean the genuine bit in a romance movie.
Yeah, I don't like the genuine part.
Oh, okay. I thought you would. Okay,
if they kiss EliteAri, they have to say, fuck you afterwards. Then it's funny and cute.
Okay, interesting. All right, so...
Just like me for real.
Sherlock, on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or whatever...
But it was epic, EliteAri. This is one of the best scenes. What am I talking about here?
I don't know what you're talking about. Sherlock receives the phone from Irene Adler and learns that she's dead.
EliteAri, this is the next note EliteAri I say, the present, EliteAri, I'm crying. No, that's a different one.
Oh.
Wait, that could have been 2 things. That could have been the present from Molly, or it could have been he gets the phone and he gets sad, EliteAri, because he realizes she's going to die. And then I was like, that Chinese girl died. We can't be killing this character off too. And then they did kill her off, EliteAri, and I was so sad.
The Chinese girl died? Who's the Chinese girl? Oh, from last season, the great game.
No, I was remembering the Chinese girl died when obviously she was never going to die, so Sherlock could have killed everybody. And my next note is Sherlock is the real Game of Thrones, because it was killing everybody off.
True, that is true. It even kills the main character in episode 3, that's crazy. But yeah, she's
main
dead.
Villain too.
Yeah, Sherlock and Mycroft have a conversation. So they go to the morgue, they identify, she's dead. And Sherlock recognizes her measurements.
I believed it, EliteAri.
Yep.
I didn't believe it initially. I said, no, this is a great character here. They know it. They're not stupid. So she ain't dying anytime soon. She can't die. And then he identified the body, and I said, there's no way to get around this. There's no possible explanation for why you would do that. Now, they didn't really explain it to EliteAri. They just said, that's just how it happens. But, again, I was just so happy that she was back that I didn't even care.
What? Wait, what doesn't make sense? What part? I'm here to clarify.
Well, why would he be able to identify the body if it wasn't her? That's ridiculous. Sherlock would obviously know. He couldn't be tricked.
She's really smart, though. Do you think Sherlock could trick himself or, trick someone else?
Sherlock could never trick himself.
Do you think Moriarty could trick Sherlock?
Only when the plot demands it.
Okay, yeah, true.
Got out of that one.
All right. Anyway, I like the scene a lot where... go ahead, yeah.
My great note for this one, EliteAri, you're going to resonate with this one. You're going to like it. You ready?
Boy. Go ahead.
Smoking is so cool. Yeah,
it's just not true.
Smoke,
no. Yeah, I mean, the cute thing here is the brother two having a scene together for the first time, I guess, properly. And
See, whenever these idiots try to have a nice moment, EliteAri, I like
Mhm.
this one because it's, not too. They're not saying they love each other or anything gay like that.
Yeah,
EliteAri,
they're
like
staring
Molly
in
and
the
Sherlock
distance
are doing.
together, and they're like just talking about random stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Being men, EliteAri.
True, stoic men. I have a great. Well, it's not a great quote. I have a quote here.
Stoicism.
Okay? Yes.
That's why we hate genuine shows of emotion. Stop being a pussy.
Mycroft offers Sherlock a cigarette, and then they look at these people crying in the morgue, and Mycroft says, "Oh no," Sherlock says, "Look at them. They all care so much. Do you ever wonder if there's something wrong with us?" And then Mycroft says, "All lives end. All hearts are broken. Caring is not an advantage, Sherlock." And that's the end. And I'm like, oh, true.
Because Sherlock has never really cared when people die. He just likes the game of it. And that evil police lady from episode 3 and also last season, she says that all the time. And he did describe himself as a sociopath one time, EliteAri. But the great Irene Adler here, obviously a Sherlock character, who else would have that name, is the one kryptonite for the great Sherlock. He cares that she's dead, and he cared that she was naked. It's crazy. We're breaking all the Sherlock rules here. You thought you knew? But you didn't know, EliteAri. You were surprised on all fronts.
Indeed. It's a revolutionary episode.
It is.
So yes, then Mycroft calls John because clearly they're scared he's going to become a drug addict again or like overdose and kill himself or something because he's just so emotionally upset. But then Sherlock is back home and is playing the violin, which he does a lot more this season. There's like many scenes where he's playing the violin. I don't even know if he did that last season, but it's definitely a big thing this time.
I'm sure he had a violin or something. It didn't shock me when he had the violin.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, then John gets summoned.
I think you might have skipped over this.
Oh, go ahead.
In your great... Yes, you were about to skip this over. Now, I was really going through the emotions here, EliteAri, because this is where we found out that Talisa was also dead here. So I wrote down, now Talisa is dead too. This show sucks. Because they were killing off all my favorite characters. Yeah. She stormed out of there. And you know what? She said, don't even call me. And I was like, no, there she goes.
Yep. Hey, who knows? Maybe she'll come back in season 4.
Nope.
Yeah.
Now, EliteAri, now just to cuck your note here and just explain it better myself, I have... Now, I believe this is correct, EliteAri, but you might have to correct me, which you like to do.
Yes,
you're a little prick. But it says, a sexy Mycroft girl is back. Was that her?
It is. And she's working for Irene Adler this time. It's very funny. But yep.
Is she gonna kiss John Watson?
Well, time will tell. We'll have to see.
Oh, she is, EliteAri. It's gonna be great. But she's gonna be playing him too, and we're gonna fall for it again.
Maybe.
Because we love EliteAri.
We do love love, but what do we think about text messages? Because now in this episode, we find out that she's been texting Sherlock, not her, the Irene Adler, and he never replies.
But he doesn't reply. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, and I have all the texts here. Okay, ready? So.
Oh my goodness.
Good morning. I like your funny hat. I'm sad tonight. Let's have dinner. You look sexy on Crime Watch. Let's have dinner. I'm not hungry. Let's have dinner. And then she later on in this episode sends, I'm not dead. Let's have dinner. It's like, oh, cute.
It's very funny, EliteAri, because she like rejects him when they're in person, but she's like teasing him because he's not going to admit that he wants to see her, and also because she like got the better of him, EliteAri, and she even says that when he's passing out, she says, "You're going to remember me as the lady that beat you."
True.
So it's like a taunt, but it's a flirt, EliteAri. It's very cute.
That's right.
But you skipped over my next note, which is she's alive, EliteAri, with like a lot of exclamation marks, EliteAri. I was going through it.
Yep. She does show up randomly when you think it's Mycroft.
Yes. The next one is, this is pretty gay, bro.
Well, this is the part where they more seriously consider the relationship stuff with, she's like, I'm gay, and then he like, John has a serious moment where he's like, just for the record, for anyone, I'm not gay. And then she's like, are you not? Like, you're clearly a thing. And it's a more, they take the jokes more seriously this time, which is interesting. But yeah.
I bet my comment was in reference to something funnier than just this direct thing, but I'll never remember what it was.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, Sherlock is there. He gets the text and the orgasm sound goes off.
True, he was following.
Yep.
And he knew.
And then he like we get a scene where he's like walking back home or whatever, and he's like all shocked and stunned, and his like vision is like blurry and stuff. It's like, oh, this is cool. He really didn't expect this.
He's got a little hurt feelings. Poor Sherlock.
Yep.
Now, I only have one more note for this episode, EliteAri, and it just
Wow.
says confusing resolution. So we're going to figure it out together. So
we will. I have a good idea of what happened here. So Sherlock goes home after this, and the Americans have broken in, and they've like kidnapped Mrs. Hudson.
They roughened her up, EliteAri.
They did. It's crazy. And Sherlock's
and
observing them.
Beat him up for it.
And he's looking at all their vital organs and stuff, and he notices the ring has like punched her, and it's like, oh my god, he's like, kill them. It's great. Good scene, you know? He's gonna protect Mrs. Hudson. And throws him out the window. And then there's a line of Mrs. Hudson leave Baker Street, England would fall. And it's like, oh, cute. They're like a happy family living at Baker Street. And Sherlock likes Mrs.
Yeah, I bet
Hudson.
you thought that one was cool, EliteAri. I bet you.
I mean, every line is cool. This, you know, this might be one of Stephen Moffat's greatest episodes he's ever written, you know, and he's written a lot of great episodes, I have to say. A lot of lines in this that I like a lot. Anyway.
Your favorite was episode 3, Elia?
Oh, I have so many quotes from episode 3. Just wait till we get there. And he didn't write that episode, so yeah. Okay, next up, Irene Adler goes to Sherlock as a client. So she's just sleeping in his bed one day, and it's like, oh, we have a client, and she's there. Cool. Sherlock, what is this? Oh, then we get the scene where it's like the goal is like she gets this thing emailed to her, and he's like, I don't know what this is. It's some code, and it's like important. And Sherlock is like, I want to see how quickly. She's like, how quickly can you solve this? And then he like, before she even kisses him, he like breaks the code, and it's the coolest thing ever. Oh my goodness!
Licks his cheek or something.
Well, she's about to kiss him on the cheek, but before she can give the kiss, he like solves the code, and it's like a slow motion thing of her like her about to kiss him, and he like solves it in less than a second. It's so cool.
And Watson says, "Get a room" or something.
Maybe, I don't remember. It's possible.
Or something about kids or something. You know, something about them copulating.
I'm sure he made some joke about that. That is true. Yes. So Mycroft slipped up, and earlier in the episode, he said, Bond areas go, and Sherlock pieced that together and realized these are plane tickets.
True. Don't worry, EliteAri. When he came back and he said that, I said, you really shouldn't have said that in the earshot. But then I was like, that's going to be important for the plot. So, you know,
it was.
I figured it out. EliteAri, I will say, now I think this was a problem with the great episode 2. And it was obviously a problem with episode 2 and not either my ears, my headphones, my computer, or my torrent, EliteAri.
Right.
But sometimes, you know, I had to turn the subtitles on to understand what the fuck was being said. Now, it's not because they was too British, EliteAri, but sometimes I was like, what the fuck is... Now, I'm bringing this up now, EliteAri, because I think I did this for Mycroft saying it, so I did notice that he said Bond. And then I said, Bond doesn't exist in the Sherlock Holmes universe because they're like the same guy. So that was ridiculous. But also, it was a code. It was because 007 or something. So, you know, maybe that was the code for the thingy, but it wasn't.
Bond air is go. True.
He was collecting corpses, EliteAri, like those kids' mum or something.
Yeah, so do you understand what was happening here?
No, not really. So, EliteAri, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
There was a plane, and there was a terrorist bomb. Now, the whole plot was that she had these secret photos, EliteAri, of her having sex with this lady. Oh, pretty cool. But she was going to sell them or not sell them, but the American... Why were these Americans there? I'll never understand. But she was actually in love with the royal girl, is where I thought we were going with this, and she can't be with Sherlock. But that's not really what happened. So, I don't understand any of this. Anyway, the plane was full of dead bodies, so he could explode the plane and make it seem like the terrorist attack really happened, because that was going to be convenient for him, but he didn't have to kill anybody. Now, there is a scene where it makes it seem like, is Mycroft a bad guy? Because he has like a scene where he like puts his head on the table and goes, oh, like he's going to actually let the plane blow up because it's convenient to Britain's something. But then that wasn't happening. And then she hated Sherlock the whole time, but she named the thing Sherlocked. I don't know why. Because she actually did love him or something. So I have no idea what the Sherlock thing was about. Besides, it's a funny joke because Locke is in Sherlock's name, EliteAri. I figured that part out. But everything about that I didn't understand. And then he saved her at the end, so they were in love.
This is an interesting thing to have such a strange reading. I guess very clearly what happened, I guess, is the whole time...
Oh, and the boomerang was from a guy on the hill. That's the other important part.
The boomerang was not from a guy on a hill. It was a guy who threw the boomerang. Oh, what are you talking about? I know what you're saying. But
that was my theory on the boomerang too. So I didn't understand anything in this episode. It was
Jesus.
supposed to be the joke there, EliteAri. So can you please catch up and start and
Oh, we
explain?
also got a little hint way earlier in the episode that Mycroft is really smart as well. Because remember when they walked into the palace, he was like, "Oh, you were doing that case with the hiker, pretty obvious." I glanced at the police report and I figured out what happened, and it's like, "Oh, Mycroft has some smarts
No,
too."
Mycroft's not smart. He's an idiot, but he's
Yeah,
cool.
maybe.
I like him.
Yeah.
Now, EliteAri, also the worst thing before you do your explanation, let me say the worst thing about the show is that every single episode has something to do with Moriarty, and that's lame. Continue.
Yeah, it's a shame. And it is interesting you don't like him, because he is overwhelmingly, like, whenever people talk
Even
about
if he was the
Sherlock...
coolest guy,
Yeah.
it would still be lame.
It's the one thing, whenever you see anyone talk about Sherlock, it's always like, man, Moriarty was really good. That was a good actor. That was a great performance.
I feel like every Fleabag thing was like, just like he was terrific in The Great Sherlock on BBC before that show went terrible. I'm adding that last part. I don't remember that last part. But that's why he's such a great priest in Fleabag season 2.
Yep.
Now, he was incredibly great in Fleabag season 2, so it's got to be Stephen Moffat's fault that he sucks in this. Also, he looks way younger in this. He's kind of like a fat guy in a Fleabag. He's like a sleazy priest, and he's dating the main girl. But then he chooses God.
Excellent.
And it's very sad.
So basically, yeah, the whole time Irene Adler obviously liked Sherlock, but needed her protection. She wanted protection, so she was going to use Sherlock to kind of get her protection. And the way that she was going to get protection was through Moriarty. So she had to find something valuable so that she could actually give it to Moriarty. So she'd be kind of be free of all the other people trying to attack her.
Now, a big piece of information, EliteAri, to understand would be that she was talking to Moriarty on the phone at the beginning, which you do understand at the beginning, but I had forgotten because the beginning was so long ago.
Yeah, so, okay, do you want me to explain what happened then?
I was just justifying my ignorance, EliteAri.
So, okay. The big thing is that she got this, like, ticket.
She didn't love him the whole time.
She obviously did. And I think you knew that too, surely. But the
from the first second?
Yeah, probably from the idea when she's like, when you see the clips of her like going over his photos and like, oh, who is this person? Like, she's obviously very interested.
No.
Okay.
Maybe after the first interaction, she thought he was a little bit cute.
Yeah, maybe. So the government broke the terrorist code. Okay. But they didn't want the terrorists to know that they broke their code.
Terrorists?
Yes, they didn't want the terrorists to know that they broke their code, so they were going to set up a fake plane and let their incident go on, so they would protect the idea that they didn't know the code. So that whenever in the future new things would come up, they'd be able to break the code or like crack it without the terrorists knowing that they knew it. So basically this whole plane thing was set up so that the terrorists would never know that they broke the code.
And they made the World War II reference, didn't they?
Yeah, to the whatever, the Alan Turing
they let the Germans bomb the one thing. I remember that.
Yeah,
so I remember that from history class.
Yes, true.
Now, EliteAri, I've just had a massive realization about something we talked about earlier.
Okay.
The Taliban can't be in this show. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
So obviously you're not allowed to have terrorists in a show and them actually be Arab, EliteAri. That's racist. So that's part of it. So, remember when you were making fun of me because I couldn't explain it? So that's part number one. And I remember the great show Quantico, EliteAri. It's about a big bomb goes off in New York and a bunch of new FBI people are on the scene. And then EliteAri, flashback. Now this is crazy. To all of the FBI people in training. And we meet all 20 of our main characters. They're all going through Quantico training. That's FBI training, EliteAri. And the whole time you're supposed to be thinking it had to be one of these students that was a big terrorist infiltrator that blew up the buildings. This show comes out in 2017, EliteAri, where we already understand that you can't have the brown people be the terrorists. You fucking racist. So, EliteAri, when there's two Muslim twin girls, now the whole class thinks there's only one girl because they have to do the thing where they swap out a bunch because it's a wacky show and it's not very good. But that's besides the point, EliteAri. You have it in your mind, EliteAri. You say, this show ain't going to make the Muslim girls and the FBI end up being the terrorists because that would be racist. So you got to keep that in your mind, EliteAri. So when you're watching Sherlock from 2012, I go in with the great 2017 mindset because it is still 2017 in my heart and soul, EliteAri. So I'm thinking, you can't have the terrorists decapitate the girl at the end. That's racist. You can't have the terrorists blow up the thingy, EliteAri. That's racist. So that's my justification for the conversation we had 20 minutes ago. Now, what you're telling me, EliteAri, is that the terrorists had a code and we broke the code. Now, how does Irene Adler fit into all this?
Because she was the one who got the plane ticket that had accidentally been leaked from the family who didn't make the plane or whatever, or like one of the basically the plane that was meant to go up.
There was a guy in a trunk.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe not that guy specifically, but she got access to a plane manifest basically that was gonna undermine the fact that the plane wasn't gonna fly. So by doing that and texting Moriarty about it, saying there's like a plane in the sky or whatever, Moriarty immediately realized that they'd cracked the code and therefore they could never use the code again. So that's why Mycroft is so
behind the
excited
terrorist bombing.
Well, he's like behind everything, I guess. Yeah.
Don't you like get bombs onto planes by taking them on in a backpack or something? So wouldn't you, if the plane's never going to go off, how does the bomb even get on there? Or
I have no idea what you're saying.
Was the British government going to blow up
what does it have to do with anything?
Well,
wait, no, the plane is going to be blown up. It's either never going to fly or it's going to be blown up by the British government. Yeah, that's all. It's definitely what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. But why would so there's no terrorist group?
There's obviously a terrorist group. What are you talking about?
Well, I thought your explanation was that there was no terrorist group.
No, so there is absolutely a terrorist group, and they had a code, and the government cracked the code, but they didn't want the terrorists to know they cracked the code.
But they would know they didn't blow up the plane, so what's the
No, because they were going to blow up the plane. Wait, what are you talking about?
But how are they going to... They're going to get on the plane and be like, there's a bunch of dead bodies on here, let's blow it up? Or you're saying they're going to put the bomb in the plane's, like, wing or something?
I mean, I don't know how they're gonna plant the bomb. I have no idea. What do you mean? They don't go over it.
Well, then why would you put all the dead bodies on the thing?
What? I don't know what you're saying. What do you?
So why are there dead bodies on the?
No, you got to step back because I'm clearly not understanding you. Step back and explain what's the issue here. What is the thing you're not understanding?
So they're gonna blow up the plane, right? The British government.
Yes.
So the terrorists don't know they have their code, but wouldn't the terrorists know that they didn't put the bomb on the plane?
No, the bomb could still be put on the plane. They could swap the plane afterwards. Who knows? It could be anything.
Swap the plane afterwards.
Wait, so what are you? I don't know what you're assuming that the literal terrorist is going to be on the plane, right?
Well, not even that. How do they get the bomb on the plane?
We just have to assume it's going to be on the plane.
Realize, huh?
Some fancy way. Who knows? We can just assume they did it somehow. It's not relevant to the mystery, right?
So the bomb's even on the plane when Sherlock and the gang are in there.
Maybe, yeah. We have no idea. And it's not relevant. It doesn't come up at any point.
So hold on. So the terrorists would think that they successfully bombed the plane and killed these people. I understood that part.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, they would think they still have this code, so the British government can undo their next part. So what was my complaint like 3 minutes ago? Was that...
I don't know.
Well, I guess I was assuming you have to be on the plane with the bomb. Or you would have to, like, how long would the plane be?
Maybe they'll literally shoot it out of the sky using a missile. Like, I have no idea how they're gonna blow up the plane. We don't know. It's not relevant.
Ridiculous.
Why would that be ridiculous? We have no idea.
And why would they need a code for that?
The code is the code they intercepted was knowing the plane they were gonna target.
Oh,
right? Because that's how they knew that they're gonna swap out the plane. Because it's like we know that they're gonna target this plane somehow. So I'm assuming they either decrypted that somehow, or they figured out like the communication that was used to actually figure out that plane.
Wait, I remember my original question now.
Okay.
What does Irene Adler have to do with this? So she got tickets.
Yeah.
And a manifest. Now, what does that mean?
She basically she slept with someone who was in the British government, and then accidentally, and then like either read his emails or.
EliteAri. It was a cute little line.
I know what he likes or whatever.
Yes, EliteAri.
Yeah.
Genius.
So she read his emails, or maybe he like showed it off to her or something. But I think she read his emails, and then saw that there was this like cryptic thing, and
he liked to brag. I think.
Yeah, he knew that she knew it was really important, and basically she just tried to use that as like leverage to protect herself. So if she could get that, figure out what that piece of information was.
Moriarty because she knows people because she's a cool prostitute girl. I buy that part.
Yeah.
And. So what does Moriarty have to do with the terrorists? He's helping them.
He is probably...
Because he's a criminal consulting criminal EliteAri. That's what he is.
They talk about in episode 3 that basically the whole terrorist, like all bad things in the world are like a web that he can manipulate. So it's like he is probably at the center of like a million different like bad things. And so yeah, if you tell him information, he could easily use it to tell the terrorists or manipulate the terrorists or whatever. Like he is in control of everything, basically. Was that the question? I don't know. Hello?
I don't remember.
All right, well done. I'm glad we clarified something.
But what does this have to do with Sherlock?
Nothing. What do you mean?
As in the lock. The lock.
Oh, the lock. Well, because...
So at the end,
yeah,
she's sitting there with Mycroft, and she says, you can't get this phone and it'll explode. Very Death Note. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so what information did she have then? I would just have to rewatch this scene, I think. Who cares? Now, I thought the reveal was that she didn't. Now, obviously, in the end, she's obviously going to like Sherlock. But we had this moment where she said, and I don't even like Sherlock. But then the show treated it as like the fact that she had named it the Sherlock showed that she actually loved him the whole time. And I didn't understand that either.
No, not at all. Oh my god. Okay. I don't know how you like this episode if you don't understand, like, if you didn't get the end bit.
Because there was a cool naked girl and she was flirting and stuff. What are you, fucking stupid?
So
I give a fuck about this plot?
Yeah, it's very clear the whole time, yeah, she liked him. And the reason we know that...
No, EliteAri! You're an idiot!
Okay, then go ahead. What's your explanation?
But she liked him in the end. This doesn't matter. We have a disagreement about this. We already talked about it. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay, whatever. She liked him after their first interaction. Then she set the password to Sherlock after that. Whatever. That's fine.
That's
I don't really
care.
care.
True, but that's okay.
Okay,
she was making up her mind the whole time. She's still making up her mind to this day. That's how women are.
Okay, you know what? Sure. Okay. She's making up her mind the whole time. For some reason, sets the
password. What does the Sherlock mean?
That she... What do you mean? What is that? What are you asking? I don't even know what you're asking.
Why was it called Sherlock? Was that just a funny trick?
Because she... Okay. The reason that Sherlock gives is like some like poetic reason about how like she wanted to make the thing very personal. Like it was she enjoys games and she enjoys mind games and very personal games and like that. And so she wanted to make the code like a personal, like she wanted to make it her life or whatever. And Sherlock realized that it would be her love for him is like what is feeding that, because he has this scene earlier where they were like interacting and they were like touching each other and stuff. And he like took her pulse and he looked at her like eyes and he could tell that she was in love with him at that point.
And her pulse went fast a little bit.
Yeah, her pulse accelerated, her eyes dilated, and he's like, yeah, she likes me at that point. And he pieces it all together at the end and realizes that it has to be that.
Question.
Yes, go ahead.
Completely off topic question. Have you ever noticed dilating eyes ever in your real life?
Yes, of course.
Not me, not once.
That's crazy.
I don't. I think I was reminded in the back of my mind. I knew that eyes dilated or something, EliteAri. But when I saw this in this episode, I said, the Sherlock show is making things up again. Eyes don't move like that. Pupils don't move like that. What are you, fucking stupid?
Yep. Well, they do.
So you're telling me I could look into EliteAri's eyes and they would like move? Now, I know the eyeball moves, but like the little black part of the eye gets bigger and smaller.
Yeah, a lot bigger and a lot smaller, yeah.
And so does the bigness or the smallness mean you're in love?
The bigness, I think. But I'm not sure. I don't even know if it's real. It's just what they say in the show. I have no idea.
So you got to look into ladies' eyes, EliteAri, and see if their eyes get smaller or bigger.
I have no idea. Yeah, but true.
Now, the pulse could have got faster because she was scared, and it's probably the same with the eyes, huh? So, it could mean multiple things. So don't be assuming that they're in love with you, EliteAri. When the eyes dilate or something, it means they could be scared.
Well, I think it depends,
I'll take that I'll take that point on board.
Well done. The promise of love, the pain of loss, the joy of redemption, then give him a puzzle and watch him dance. That's what Irene Adler says, I think.
True, they were making fun of him, and I was like, oh, we're doing this silly thing where we pretend she's not going to be in love with him. I'm not going to fall for it, show. But then they were in love or something, and I didn't understand,
Yes. So Irene Adler is dead for real this time, and Mycroft goes to John to tell him the cover story, that she's under witness protection in the US or something. This was cool. But the coolest thing was a line that was said here, written by the great Stephen Moffat, who we love a lot. My brother has the brain of a scientist. My brother has the brain of a scientist or a philosopher, yet he elects to be a detective. What might we deduce about his heart? I don't know. Neither do I, but initially he wanted to be a pirate. It's like, oh, that's kind of cute.
I remember that line.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's funny. I think it's like a cute thing of like, Sherlock was like, as a kid. Actually, you tell me. What is my reading of this?
He was just a normal little kid.
Okay.
He was just a normal little kid.
Go ahead.
But
well done.
At some point he became an autist.
Or is he always an autist? Or is he always a little kid? Like, it's just, yeah, it's interesting. All right.
Well, obviously he's a little kid, but,
Yes. And that's it. And she's alive. And it fades to black, making you think the episode's over. And then he comes back. And it's like, oh, wow, she's alive. And there we go. Good ending. And then Shane Farley and the reaction is like, that was a good episode. And he like slams the desk or whatever. And it's like, man, thanks, Shane. That's right.
I didn't know the Great Blind Wave reacted to the Sherlock television series.
They have. It was Shane and Rick. And Rick had seen season 1, and that's it. And I think he might have read some of the books.
What a dynamic.
It was an interesting dynamic. That is true. Yep. Anyway,
call me when the normies watch it, a real channel.
You know what? Believe it or not, they did. I know they reacted to season 4 at least.
Oh.
I don't know if they did the other seasons, but yeah.
I feel like Sherlock is a thing you see on their tier list or whatever. And you're
Yeah.
like, I haven't watched that dumb show. Skip.
Yep. Episode 2.
And frankly, I'd probably still skip it. I don't care what they have to say.
Yep. Are you ready to move on to episode 2?
Yes, in my 5 notes here.
The Hounds
One of them is in
of
big bold letters.
Baskerville.
It says, "We love gay jokes." So keep that in mind.
All right. This is written by Mark Gatiss, who plays Mycroft. Directed by the same director as episode 1, Paul I wish I knew how to say this. McGuigan. Something like that.
Yeah, McGuigan, my favorite
yes.
guy, EliteAri. Pretty easy to say.
Yes. So it's based on the Hound of the Baskervilles. A very similar title. What can we say about this?
They didn't have drugs back in the 1800s. How did they make this?
Well, they didn't have genetic experiments either, I'm sure, but here we are.
Yeah, Frankenstein.
That's a good point, actually, yeah. Anyway, this was a fun change of pace, a different setting, a different genre, basically. It was basically like a horror at some points. It was, interesting.
It was an espionage thriller.
What I'm more curious about is, going into it, was it believable at any point that it actually could have been, like, a genetically mutated dog? Did you ever buy it where you're like, man, it actually could be the case? Okay, interesting.
Because obviously at the beginning, you're like, there's not going to be a hound. But then the show's so overly going on Sherlock's side because he's dismissing that there can't be a hound that there's going to be some thematic whiplash to show him that he was a little too presumptuous or something. But then I figured it out way before they figured it out, so I'm smarter than Sherlock.
Now, that's not true because he figures it out way earlier and he only is trying to figure out where the actual cause of the hallucinations are coming from, right?
Let me tell you something. It didn't take the reveal that Sherlock was fucking with John Watson in the little lab for me to figure out that there ain't no dog.
Yeah,
but there was a dog, but he wasn't a scary dog.
No, because we can talk about it now. Because I'm assuming at the beginning you said this is one of those moments where you felt like he was smarter than Sherlock, but I don't feel like
I'm the smartest.
But
it was revealed at the end. I am remembering now that he did figure something out beforehand. But he does have the moment where he's freaking out, and I said, "What are you freaking out for, pussy?" And he said, "Because he can't trust his senses." And that's when you're like, well, obviously his senses.
Yeah, but he had already
knows figured that out.
Yeah, exactly.
But why was he freaking out then? Was he a big pussy?
Because he can't rely on his senses, which is a thing that he relies on for all of his deductions.
I can never rely on my senses.
True.
Deductions are fake. Just figure it out.
No, they're real. He deduced stuff. Except for Irene Adler, where there was a bunch of question marks because she was naked. All right.
That was cool, EliteAri.
It was cool. Oh my goodness. So this episode opens like a Doctor Who episode, strikingly so, which is that it opens with a cold open of a kid running away, and then he screams at the camera, and it's like, oh my god, and the Doctor Who intro is going to play right now. So that's kind of cool. But the premise...
There's an old lady with a weak dog, and you're like, this weak dog isn't going to be able to stand up to the cool dog. True. But I guess they just ran away.
That was, yeah, indeed. So Sherlock is incredibly bored, and he needs a cigarette. And he offers John the lottery numbers for next week. I'll let you know next week's lottery numbers. I'm like, true, he could figure them out. What a guy.
He can't figure out the lottery numbers.
True.
That's not deduction.
Could he? You never know.
No, he was just trying to tempt him. But EliteAri, they were under the skeleton, the skull. True. And in episode 3, he looks for something under the skull, and it was a great callback. Genius.
Oh yeah, true. Okay, I was trying to think what you were talking about. Yeah.
Remember that? You're an idiot. You don't even like.
See, you're really observant. This is good. Anyway,
that last thing didn't make sense, EliteAri.
Yeah, that's not true. Now, we meet Henry, who both of us seem to not like, which is kind of funny. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't like this guy.
He had sauce on his mouth. What a fucking mouth breather.
That is true. He did have sauce, and Sherlock made a bunch of deductions about it.
And he had a hot babe's number. That pissed me off too.
Yeah, and he gave up at some point. He wrote it down, but then.
And he's got big fucking ears. Anybody else notice the big fucking ears?
He does have big ears. That is true. Yep. What a guy. But this episode, something that I think is more unique. I mean, this is a very unique episode in general, but
and then John tried to shoot the therapist, if you know what I mean.
True. The doctor came and messed it up, but
the doctor.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a doctor. The guy, the old guy.
I thought you meant Doctor Who, the doctor, of course.
No, the doctor guy. Anyway, this episode has a lot of setup.
He was obviously a bad guy, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Because when I was watching it, I feel it's really obvious that this is the bad guy, but I obviously knew he was. So I don't know. Did you think
there was
the whole time?
a part where it was I think this because it is really just the formal as what's a good formism formalization. the form of TV mysteries, EliteAri, where you've been trained from a young age that the Scooby-Doo guy that you met for like one scene but then didn't see again, that seemed nice, is always the bad guy in the end. So it was kind of that, where it was like, well, that guy seemed nice, and he hasn't shown up for a while, and we gotta wrap this story up
He's
soon.
like the only guy. Yeah, exactly.
How long that's gone left. And he's the only other guy here besides the other characters that are obviously being positioned to be bad guys, like the general guy who has all the conservative British politicians stuff in his... You didn't even notice that reference.
Nope.
In his thingy. So, he's like a stupid guy. And then there's that scientist lady who killed her daughter's rabbit. That's a bad girl.
Bluebell.
And there was only one other
Which was
guy.
also set up in the beginning of the episode, which is cool. Another one where you're like, oh, a little mystery at the beginning. Yeah, we love it.
Bluebell.
Yep.
That was my cat's name. One of our cat's names before we renamed him, EliteAri. Remember that?
Lovely.
So I was like, that is a pet name that they give pets.
Yep.
But don't worry, we renamed them.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of, in the beginning of this episode, there's like 20 minutes of setup where it's like we're getting the build up of what is this Baskerville, and we're gonna, like, there's a mystery there, and there's a hound, and then we go there, and they're driving there, and it's not like they just like go there and we initially investigate like the actual place. It's like they're driving for a while, then they arrive, and there's like a bunch of people, and they talk to the people, and
it did feel like a book. It was like,
we're
driving, and then we arrive at the inn on the outskirts of town, and we start meeting some funny characters around town, and there's a tour guide, and he's like got the hound just on a poster, so it's not a big secret here. It's like a big in joke. And then you're like, if there was actually a deadly hound in this thingy, these people would surely know about it and speak about it. Or it would be like a scary horror movie situation where whenever you bring it up, everybody in the bar goes silent, and they all look at Sherlock when he brings up the hound and say, well, you got to do something about it. And then they chase him out of town. But then at the end, it's revealed that the townspeople were just scared by this one guy, and now they're all going to have a party at the end. I can write a generic story, EliteAri. I know all the tropes.
Yep.
But it wasn't like that, EliteAri, so it kept you guessing.
Yes, indeed. So they do all this initial stuff, and then they actually head to Baskerville. The Sherlock uses Mycroft's ID, and they have 20 minutes to get in before he finds out.
23 minutes, actually.
All right, sure, 23 minutes, whatever.
You skipped over the introduction of the gay guy.
True, we meet the gay guys.
That's pretty funny.
What is that?
He makes a gay joke, and initially you're like, another guy making a gay joke about dumb Sherlock and dumb Watson. But then the joke was that he actually was gay, and that was crazy. And his boyfriend was a little short guy.
Yep.
I like this location. It reminded me of being on holidays, traveling around places, EliteAri. It was pretty cool.
It is very mundane.
True.
Like, it's just like a...
That's how all holidays are in reality,
That is, yep, that is true.
And the only real places I've gone on holidays have not been like big holiday locations. It has been like quiet little holiday locations that are a bit cheaper.
Yep, like Baskerville, where
So
there's
a
a
bit
hound
nostalgic, you know?
and mines and a genetic experiment place.
Yes.
Anyway,
Defense.
they go and they break in, but they don't break in. They use the ID, and they meet a few people. They meet three people. They meet the big general important guy who we don't like. Is too stern and stuff.
There's also a Chinese guy that's sliding around.
Oh yeah, okay, sure, okay. I don't know if he was Chinese, and I don't really remember him that much, but okay. There's Dr. Bob Franklin, who's obviously the killer guy. And there's Dr. Stapleton, who's the Bluebell mother of the girl who had Bluebell. And yeah, and then we basically go and explore the place, and they're doing crazy stuff, and there's no limitations, and we're like, oh my god, maybe they did make a dog and it's giant, and they made what?
They don't get inspections.
Oh yeah,
true.
Yep. And we see the power of Mycroft. You know, he can go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants, and no one.
He's a cool guy, this Mycroft. He's a cool guy.
He is basically the British government, is what they say last season, I think.
And then he didn't even have to show up. He just sent a text, said, "What are you doing now?"
Yeah, that was. I like that. It's not like he got mad or anything. It's just like annoyed. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, but another character did just show up out of nowhere, so that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the detective guy.
What's his name? Basquam.
Lestrade, yeah.
Lestrade, yeah. Basquad.
He does randomly show up, but it is funny because when I was going back to make notes on these episodes, in the last episode, he does mention going on a holiday to this place. To the other place. Then it got cancelled or something, right? So it is set up, I know, but in the last episode, but I don't remember how it actually got set up.
Don't worry, we don't need setup. It was funny.
True, he does show up. It is funny. But one thing which I liked was like a directing choice, I guess, of like, there was this chain of phone calls that was going on to eventually get the call to Mycroft that his like ID had been used. It was very funny. It's like 50 people.
Between, that was a cool little compilation.
Yeah, between there and Mycroft.
Bureaucracy is disgraceful, EliteAri. Can you believe it?
Indeed. So after this, they go back to Henry's place, and turns out he's rich, which is like a detail that I think just never comes back. But you know what? He's rich. Good for him.
He is rich.
Yep. Then they
He's got
go.
a big house.
They go to the Hollow, which is what I'm going to call that place with the Hound. And Sherlock and Henry see the Hound, but John doesn't. Kind of crazy.
He does see Morse code, EliteAri. Wasn't that a
Yeah, so do you know what happened with that?
There was some people having sex, and then their lights were on or something.
Yeah, the belt kept catching on like the thing to turn the lights on. That's why it was in Morse code, which was very funny.
Don't you have to twist the thing to turn the lights on? I guess it's probably different.
Who knows?
Depending
I
on
don't
the
know. Yeah,
and I don't drive, so
yeah.
Who cares? Now,
Amen.
also, EliteAri. Now, there are a lot of British people in this episode in woodsy-like areas saying hollow and stuff. So, you know,
okay.
We were just thinking about Harry Potter the whole time. And there was a dog. That was crazy. And terrible CGI. So.
Yeah,
That's all I could think about. And I have thought about it. I have thought about it a whole lot. Like, I get little glimpses, like every episode, where I'm like, well, that sounded like a Harry Potter character saying something. It's not just because it's British, EliteAri. It's like a certain tone of voice and like a quick way of saying something.
I'm sure
and like banter and stuff. There's lots of banter in these great Harry Potter movies. Now, Harry Potter obviously much better than shitty Sherlock, but it's besides the point. But it was they said hollow, like when they not just deathly hollows, EliteAri, but then when we're going through the woods with Hermione and Harry, because Ron left, he got mad and left in 7 Part 1. They go to EliteAri. I'm gonna get it.
Godric's.
It's where Harry's parents. EliteAri, Godric's Hollow. You fucking piece of shit. How about you let me get it next time? So you know, it was the same thing. All British environments look weird and the same, isn't it weird?
Yep, and the same.
We just have like weird like trees and stuff here. That's how you can identify it. Like when I was watching Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, and they just cut to Australia with no warning, and I said, that looks like an Australian environment. And then I was right, EliteAri. That was the greatest viewing moment in TV history. By the way.
I'll never hear the end of it.
By TV, I mean my movie watching.
True, Cowboy Bebop. Sherlock is...
EliteAri, it would be really funny if you revealed right now that this was all filmed in America, and I'm retarded.
No, I think this was filmed in the UK, but I'm not sure. You never know. Star Wars was filmed in the UK too, for some episodes at least. So, Sherlock is freaking out because he can't trust his senses, and John thinks he's losing it, so Sherlock proves he's not crazy by deducing a bunch of stuff about the mother-son pair.
Yeah, that was those guys. I remember that.
Yep, and that was the one with I think about the small dogs or whatever, right? Where it's like, I don't know. There was a bunch. They're talking about their comparative income. Like the mum was like richer. They had small dogs. The father was dead. The most obvious deduction because she had like a ring on her neck. The guy is a fisherman.
And he was a fisherman.
He had the hook scars or whatever. And then there's 2 things that have stood out from this episode that I have like. One thing I remembered the most in this episode, and then there's the thing that I quote all the time, which is when Sherlock says, "I don't have friends." I quote that all the time. I don't know why it's so memorable, but yep, this is the episode that created that quote.
I hate it when they have nice moments. It's not good.
Well, this wasn't a nice moment. This was a "I don't have friends" moment where he like broke up with John and they were like fighting.
He says, "I have a friend."
Well, he says that later, okay? It's
like
not now, yeah.
Oh, whatever.
He says, I don't have friends. I have one friend. I'm like, oh, cute.
Soy.
Yeah. Anyway, this season has a lot more like straight deduction scenes like this, I think. Like we had the one with Henry at the beginning about the napkin and stuff. We have this one here. Last episode we obviously had a bunch with I don't know, random things. What's like the example from last episode?
The fucking guy with the boomerang, you idiot.
No, there's probably a better one. I don't know. There's stuff in every episode. It's great. Anyway, what else is there? John tries to talk to the therapist. We talked about that. Sherlock goes to Henry's house. Yeah, basically, the rest of this episode is like the plot stuff. So it's like they go to Henry's house and Sherlock takes some sugar. And then they go to Baskerville. And John has the scene where he's like freaking out and all the lights are going off and he's seeing the Hound, and Sherlock reveals that he was testing him because the Hound didn't have glowing eyes, but he told John, and because of that he was like, oh, it must be a psychological thing because he doesn't actually have red eyes, but you saw the red eyes. I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, Sherlock thinks it's in the sugar, but he's wrong. And then this is the most memorable part of this episode, and probably the only thing I actually remembered from this episode, which is there's a scene where Henry is in his house, and then there's a jump scare where the lights turn on outside. Yep. And that stuck with me. I was like, man, I remember this is the most memorable thing. I was scared every time it happened in every rewatch I've ever done. Yeah.
That was the big moment where I was like, maybe I'll watch.
Wait,
because
wait, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. Oh my god. Oh no.
How about you get some better?
Oh no. Okay, you're back. You're back.
Idiot.
Yeah. So you said this is the moment where you were done or something.
Oh, it went red for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where I had to rewatch this red again.
Yeah. Oh wait, you're cutting out. You're cutting out. He's cutting out. He's gone. Oh my god. Rip.
Stop seeking it to be funny.
I can't even hear a thing you're saying. It's a shame.
Yes, you can, EliteAri, be in an environment.
All right, go ahead.
No. Well, I couldn't tell if you were doing a bit. I was about.
I wasn't, but you're back.
Well, I'm switching. Well, it's still doing the thing where it flashes red every.
Yeah, you're cutting out. Yep. Swap internets. Get out of here.
Fucking idiot.
Yep.
Everything's fixed.
All right, Kyle Entertainment is back, sir. What were you saying? You said that it's bad or something. You gave up.
This boring scene, EliteAri, that I had to watch like 3 times because I kept not paying attention and I had to rewind it. And look, it was the one where the lights came on a bunch of times, and I was making a funny reference to something I said earlier in the.
Yep.
But my comedic timing got cut off because of your shitty internet.
Yep. Well, I thought it was a scary scene. I was so spooked. Imagine being at home alone and your lights in the backyard turn on. And
there was no dog.
True, there was no dog, but there might have been.
He was like behind the glass in his house. And also he's got big fucking windows where he can see if something's coming. Not scary. If he had curtains, it would be scary.
Sorry, no. It's the complete opposite. Having an open window makes it way scarier because you would see something coming at you and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Well, no, you would see it from a long way. He had like walls where the windows.
Yeah, what's scarier? Having the curtains closed so you can't see something outside, or seeing someone run at you from outside toward you and the windows open?
What's scary, EliteAri, is something being in your house and jumping out at you. But to get into the house, they have to come through this great window where you can see out. So you can see him coming. And
you know what's scarier than something being in your house?
Punch him.
Wait, have you seen Get Out?
No, you asked me this question like 3 times.
I probably did, yeah. Oh my god. All right, well, basically, there's a scene in Get Out. It's like the scariest scene in the movie.
White people.
Which is like a guy's just running at you. That's way scarier than something being in your house. Like,
don't worry about that, EliteAri. I'll knock him out one punch.
I don't know.
I'll wind up. I won't even move. I'll stand on one spot and do a little Bugs Bunny thing where I rotate my arm.
Maybe
and then it gets faster. So he's fast, he can't see it. And I'll punch him. Maybe it's scary. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's very scary, especially in the dark. Now, Sherlock
goes
back.
Can't break down the window.
True.
If this mutt jumped on me, I'd just punch him and then beat him up.
Yeah, what if it's a mutant animal that is...
Now, I'll tell you what's scary. The scary is in the woods, EliteAri, because he's hiding behind them bushes and he's going to jump out at you like that tiger in that Far Cry Primal trailer. You remember that? That was spooky, right? You can't see him. He's going to jump out at you. It's like when you close the door behind you and you're not looking for a second and he's going to jump you from behind. Yep. That's scary stuff. Not the open window.
Now, what if there was like a bunch of zombies charging at you with an open window? That would be scary. I don't know.
No, yeah, you can't, because no matter how powerful my punch is, EliteAri, it can't beat up a whole army of zombies.
That's right. Okay, Sherlock goes into his mind palace and recalls the Project Hound. What do you think of this mind palace?
Oh, yeah.
This is
he was doing funny movements with his arms.
Like, this is a famous meme. Obviously, I think this is transcended Sherlock. I think everyone knows this meme of the guy, like, moving his head around and it's like,
not me.
I'm so smart. It's crazy you don't know the meme, but yeah. All right, what do you think about it?
Nothing really.
Lovely, that's good to hear. See,
in the context of the show, it's not funny because John Watson is already making fun of it. So you can be like, I love John Watson here.
Sure.
So even if this is silly, I'm on Watson's side. I ain't a loser like this guy. But obviously, it's going to be really funny when H-Bomber guy clips this out in his video and says, look at this stupid ass shit. And he'll be like, yeah, Mind Palace. It sounds stupid to me. Pretty cringe.
Yep.
But also, you told me that this is how Extra Emily remembered all 9,000 digits of pi with a Mind Palace. Where you go into the rooms or something.
I don't remember if she did that.
But I never heard of that.
That's how I did it. Yeah, this is like an this is a very effective memory technique. And I learned from Sherlock, so it is funny because this is a thing that I used back in, 2014 when I did my high school exams. Yeah.
Sherlock isn't real.
True, but the method of loci is, which is what the Mind Palace is based on. But anyway, yes, he does it.
What do you got to remember for high school, you idiot?
You know what I remembered? I memorized my entire essay by having each, like, the first word of every sentence.
They give you the thing, EliteAri. They say, this is what the question is going to be. Write your essay to prepare beforehand. You want to know what I did? I didn't fucking write no prepare an essay. I just show up on the day. I might have forgotten what the fucking topic was about. I still got a B. What's your problem?
True. Good point. I just want
I
to
wasn't
like
going to
Sherlock,
university, though, EliteAri.
True.
I was going to be arrested. How's that working?
Yep. I don't know.
I'm here with
Your
you.
future's still bright. Okay.
Nope, I'm old.
Sherlock starts going... No, Henry starts going crazy and then starts to shoot his therapist, and then he runs back to the Hollow. What a guy. We don't like him.
He did try to shoot his therapist. That wasn't very nice.
He did.
I like this assortment of women we're getting, EliteAri, for John Watson. It's pretty cool. They're all like pretty British ladies, but they're also like not super young, and I like that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's not super young either.
No, every time I look at his face, I'm like, is this a 29-year-old or a 45-year-old? He did kind of look old in that Hobbit movie, and that was made around the same time as this. But he's probably like 31. Who knows how old he
I would guess
is.
late 30s, but I don't know.
My goodness.
Yep. Okay.
Why is he trying to date then? Life's already over.
Because he just has ultimate hope. I have no idea. Anyway, they all go back to the Hollow. I think even Lestrade goes there. They're all just going now.
He shoots the dog, I think.
Yeah, then we get a very difficult decision that the show has to make, which is how do you show that they're all hallucinating without also making the audience believe that it's like, oh my god, there's actually a dog here. Like, what do you do? And I guess they don't really have a solution to this. They just literally show a CGI dog.
Well, I'm also thought, how do we make it seem like we're not fucking the audience out of a cool mutant dog? Which is like, we can just do the thing where it never existed. But then everybody's like, they just fucked us because we're here to see the cool mutant dog. But then they kind of showed the cool mutant dog and they found a little compromise by having it still not exist. But it turns out the mutant dog wasn't so cool.
True.
But it was bad because their imaginations were bad. It wasn't a real thing. So
indeed, the gas from the Hollow was inducing the hallucinations. But who cares about that? The villain runs away and steps on a mine and blows up. It's crazy.
That was funny. I did realize he was going to do that as soon as he started running away because I was like, oh yeah, there's a minefield, huh?
Indeed.
So I figured that out first too. So once again, Sherlock 0, me about 3, I think, in this episode.
Yep. And then the final scene is a teaser of Moriarty being released from confinement, and he's
true. More Moriarty shit.
Yep,
Boy,
the
did
best
I love
thing
this.
in this show. Oh my god, what a great guy! And we're gonna talk about why he's such a great guy in this next episode. Anything else about the?
We covered all my
Baskerville?
notes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Now we have episode 3, The Reichenbach Fall, written by Stephen Thompson, directed by Tony Haynes, who we love. Sorry, Toby Haynes. Oh my god, I got his name wrong. Do you know what he's from? Ever heard of him? The great Toby Haynes, one of the best directors ever.
Let me guess. Doctor Who would be too obvious for EliteAri to pose it as a question, and I wouldn't get it. So, you know, some of these Game of Thrones shows are shot in England, which means he could be up for potentialities here. And if it was like House of the Dragons episode 1 through 5, which I'm pretty sure it's not, then EliteAri could throw it in my face for not knowing him. So how do I hedge my bets? Is this a genuine question or a way to make fun of me? I'll never know, EliteAri. Who is he?
All right, he is a great Doctor Who director who's directed some fantastic episodes of Doctor Who. He is a great Black Mirror director who's directed some of the best Black Mirror episodes. And he is the great Andor director of season 1, who directed like 6 episodes in Andor season 1. So he is fantastic. We love him. And he directed
the message of this little bit. The message of this little bit is don't overestimate EliteAri. He will disappoint you.
True.
Because I thought this was going to be some funny bit where I was actually supposed to get it, and then he was going to make, but it was just him referencing his lame, nerdy little Star Wars shit.
He is such a good director. You know, I just love him in everything.
Black Mirror. I love sci-fi guys. Doctor Who. Aliens.
I think you cut out, so your joke was... I'm so sorry, Kyle. But, all right, the final problem is what this is based on, which is the introduction to Moriarty. That's what the original story was here. And I have a quote from Wikipedia. It was intended to be the final home story, ending with... Oh my god. Welcome back.
What's wrong? You dropped the call because I was making fun of you. Admit it.
I thought you cut out. I just kept talking. Wait, what?
I thought you were dramatically pausing.
No, I kept talking. So everyone's listening right now and is like, what just happened? But I think the Discord messed up. Okay, let's go back then.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything for about 10 seconds. I was making fun of you for liking sci-fi. Did you
and then you cut out, and I was like, oh, your end of your joke got cut out, so let me continue. So I didn't hear it, but I'm sure it's very funny, okay?
No.
So I was saying the Reichenbach fall is based on the final problem, which is the original story that introduces Moriarty, which is kind of interesting.
Oh, also the last episode of the series is called that.
Apparently. That's funny you know that.
Towards the end, I was making some crazy mental justifications for them both dying. I was like, okay, so everybody hates season 4, so everything is just like a flashback of like, because Sherlock and Watson did a bunch of cases off screen rather. So we're just gonna flash. EliteAri, you're being silent again. Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Oh my god, you took like 1 second to answer. The this ties into something. And so that would have made sense if the last one was the final problem and it was like us back at this moment with all the proper context that we're going to get over the next 2 seasons of flashbacks. But no, they're just both alive, I guess.
If that's what you want to take, then sure. Then when I'm going to ask you...
I'm trying to get me off the little track here.
I'm
a genius, leader. You can't fool me.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so I have a quote from Wikipedia. So this is about the final problem, okay, which is the introduction of Moriarty and this big story or whatever. It was intended to be the final Holmes story, ending with the character's death, but Doyle was later persuaded to revive Holmes for additional stories and novels. So this was originally intended to be the end of Sherlock, so it's kind of interesting. Also, like, we didn't know that there was going to be like a season 3 when this show came out. So it could have been that he just died, you know, at the end. So you could have believed it.
The show ain't gonna end on that note. Don't be ridiculous. I am very glad, EliteAri, that we got the one flash of him being alive at the end, so we didn't have to talk about whether or not he was dead for like 15 minutes, and you had to try and gaslight me into thinking he was dead.
That is true.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, overall, this episode is all about Sherlock's reputation, I guess, and public perception is turning on him. People kind of, even if people want to hate him, so it's like inevitable that people will hate him and people will believe lies about him because they hate him. And I don't know, this is like the general premise.
Well, they loved him at the beginning, but then the great John Watson figured out that they're going to turn on him soon because that's what the people do, EliteAri.
Amen.
You know, they just turn on you. You're at the peak of your powers. They listen to everything you say about Attack on Titan, and then they abandon you.
Yep. So you said you were like very invested at the beginning of this episode, like you watched for 40 minutes.
Oh my goodness, things are happening very quickly, EliteAri. It's all very interesting. You got all 3 of these locations are getting broken into, and the characters are having very dramatic reactions to all of them, especially Lestrade and the police officers. So that was really cool. And then I feel like some other stuff was happening. Then all of a sudden we're in court, and this annoying ass judge is blabbering, and fuck this judge guy. I hate this guy. They got the dumb wigs on because they still do that in England. How embarrassing. We killed all those people in Black Sails. How are they still alive? And then we're on trial and we're trying to figure out why he would get arrested on purpose and what his little plan is here. And then I figured out beforehand that he obviously intimidated all the jurors and he's going to get not guilty, and that's going to be a really cool flex. But then there's an even more twist where he said he was just advertising with this little thingy, but then it turns out the little thingy didn't exist, and there's all of these assassins moving in, and they all like save Sherlock's life, and they all get like shot and stuff. And then Mrs. Hudson got shot, but she didn't get shot. And then Molly and Sherlock were hanging out, and they were in love. And then the police turned on Sherlock very quickly. That was interesting. And then those no good 2 of them from that first season were back talking shit. Then they had to track down. There was a kidnapper. The kidnapper was pretty cool. They kidnapped these kids and they were poisoning them. And there was a bunch of cool stuff in here, EliteAri. It just kept you on your toes. My notes here, EliteAri, it just says Sherlock is fucking dead. Oh, that's right, because we have a cold open about Sherlock being dead.
True.
So obviously that you're like primed for things. Oh, that's why I thought that it was going to be a cliffhanger where he like died. Because I was like, oh, because he hadn't died yet, and we were getting towards the end, and it's like obviously if he's going to have a fake death, we have to have like the fallout of it because John is all sad and we got to catch up to the beginning of the episode, which didn't kind of happen. You know, we didn't exactly get back. Oh no, actually, I think there is a shot at the end of him in the therapy session. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So Sherlock is fucking dead was my first little note here as I saw the episode, which was going to be very funny.
Cold open.
Then I have International Assassins Arc, question mark.
You know what? That's funny because I made the same joke in my notes. Yep, there we are.
No, I independently and only thought of that great joke.
Yep.
And then my third and final note here, and my last note of the entire video, is Staying Alive again. Because I heard it and I was like, what did I watch recently that also had this in it? And then I realized, oh, it was Sherlock episode 1.
Yep.
Season 2 episode 1. So, don't worry, I figured it out, EliteAri.
Yep. Okay. So, with that
what a bombastic little episode.
Yeah, I agree. My appeal is probably pretty similar, but also I just love Moriarty so much, and he's such a big part of this episode.
What a loser.
Yeah. So
what a boring guy.
Yeah, but he's so cool, and that's all that matters.
What
really.
an over-the-top weirdo.
I think we could talk about it now a little bit, which is that I'm sure you know this. So you're gonna, as soon as I say it, you're gonna be like, obviously that's true. But we only see the.
I'm not gonna say that.
In my opinion, we only see the true Moriarty once in the show, and I think that's in the rooftop scene when he has a brief moment where he realizes that Sherlock is ahead of him. And he has a moment where he like lashes out and is like, what did I miss? It's like talking seriously for once. And it's like really interesting. Because it's like usually he's not like that.
No, that was also in his like bombastic tone, wasn't it?
It's not. No, it's like he at least my reading of it, he seems very genuinely like, what did I miss? Like he seems angry about it. But in not like a weird way.
Well, yeah, he
like
seems angry about it, but he's like always like angry, freaking out, like.
I don't think so. I think it's like I mean, you can go back and watch, or both of us, we can see what we think, but
I think he makes Sherlock look bad too when he's in scenes, because it's like, I hate their monologues about how other people are different or whatever. That's cringy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also like Sherlock being cringy next to an even more cringy guy doesn't make him feel less cringy. It just is like, oh, this whole show is kind of cringe now that John Watson isn't around to make funny jokes about how it's cringe. This is independent of, I do think he's like a scary character where it feels like he can like, he like has cornered Sherlock or whatever. And like they can't stop him at all, and he's got this great little key code. I think those are two independent things, because I do think that that's just like a performance choice versus like a narrative, like it's probably a narrative choice too, then a like plot choice, I guess. So plot wise, it's still kind of interesting. But I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe leave me alone, EliteAri.
Yeah, I mean, I never find like I do find him cringe in one scene, which is the end of last season. That's the only time I find him cringe. No other time. Like I think he's just fantastic in every scene. I don't know how to quite explain it though. Like it's hard to say it. I think it's like
he feels like a crazy guy. Like
he doesn't feel like a crazy
normal
guy.
And menacing,
not even a little.
And
bit.
then he has like a crazy little voice tick where he gets loud for no reason, and he's overly weird. It's like, oh yeah.
I guess I don't. Yeah,
think he's like unhinged, bro. He's really crazy because he can't even like say the sentence without spurging out. Like, yeah, whatever, lame-o.
Yeah, no, I don't get any of that. I don't see him as crazy at all. And I don't see him as like over the top in any way. My reading of him is like very the way I see him is like very I don't even know how to say it, very
like
reserved.
Even when he's like playing it down in the court and he's trying to be reserved, steal an EliteAri's word to use it against him. I'm a genius. Like he's still making like retardedly over the top faces whenever it's like when Watson is like insulting him or Sherlock is insulting him on the stand or whatever. It's like, oh, okay.
I feel like he makes okay. You could say that if you agree that like John's reactions are also like kind of over the top, because I feel like John's are like.
Well, yeah, but because it's funny, it's not like cringe.
I guess I don't see
there
the
is
cringe.
like something.
It's meant to be funny.
I do
like
think the whole
on the stand, they're meant to be like having a dynamic where it's like funny, I guess, right? Like the reactions is meant to be showing the Sherlock are meant to be like, oh, we're both like seeing this like kind of silly stuff going on or whatever. Like I don't think it's a thing where like, oh, he's so cool, look at him making his faces or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be like cool.
Okay.
I do think the show just generally it is on like the edge, and I think it's why it's like such good fodder for like a potential H-bomber guy shitting on video, where it's like I feel like it isn't cringe most of the time, but it's like a half second off timing off being cringe constantly, where it's like the deductions could obviously be so cringe. But it's not. It works. But Moriarty doesn't. I don't know if it's like a it's like a piece by piece thing. But I don't know. Even if like maybe my problem truly is it's the same. No, well, it is kind of the same problem even as I'm describing it as like the Emperor in Star Wars, where it's like he's a bad guy and he's like a really definitely bad guy. So that's already super boring. Oh my god, EliteAri. There's a great third comparison of something that I really like. Have you already got it in the chamber, or are you an idiot and I gotta do your job for you?
I don't know. I don't even understand the comparison to the Emperor. It's not similar at all in any way.
Because he's over the top and really evil.
How is Moriarty over the top? That's what I'm getting. The Emperor, I agree.
You're a crazy person.
Okay, go ahead. Give me examples.
He makes crazy faces.
The crazy faces. It's like saying John is over the top. Yeah, go ahead. What's the next one?
No, that's the most retarded thing I've ever heard in my life.
No, it's not.
Hold on.
Dispute it.
Before we get away from my third example, the third example is Voldemort, who is obviously never cringe and tremendously epic and the coolest bad guy of all time. And he's really evil, and he's over the top. Well, I guess in all three of these cases, these are like, well, I don't know much about the Moriarty Sherlock fandom, but people do definitely make fun of the Voldemort performance, and people definitely make fun of the Emperor performance. And I'm assuming, well, EliteAri doesn't even think this is over the top, so maybe people don't make fun of the
I don't see how it's over the
Moriarty performance.
I mean, there might be a subset of people, like there might. I'm sure there's a very vocal minority who don't like Sherlock. I'm sure, so there probably are a lot of people who don't like Moriarty, but I'm fairly confident that even the people who don't like Sherlock, or like, oh, it like fell off or whatever, even they, I'm pretty confident, say that like Moriarty is a good portrayal. Like it is the best thing the show did is the portrayal of Moriarty. Is my understanding, at least, of the fandom. Even the people who don't like it. I can
easily see why people would like Moriarty. I don't see how people would say he's not over the top, and by people I mean you. Now,
what does over the top mean to you? Because I can understand Voldemort. He's
I'm
always
already on the line.
What do you mean you're on the line? Wait, what?
I'm gonna lead you down this path. You're not gonna lead me down this path because I got my next line lined up.
All right, go
Would
ahead.
you say EliteAri? I'm leading question here. You ready for this, EliteAri? Would you say that he's crazy?
No, obviously not.
Ah, you're an idiot.
What is crazy? Would you say Voldemort is crazy?
Because I was gonna say EliteAri, let's go down this little line where you do what I want. You say, yeah, obviously he's crazy.
No, he's not
and then
crazy.
I go, well, over the top is the same thing as crazy. So we both agree that over the top and crazy are the same thing. We just don't agree that they're this.
Wait, why is he crazy?
Oh, am I thinking of a different character here? Did we watch the same show?
What does crazy mean? What does that mean? What do you mean by crazy?
He's a wacky guy, you know? He starts a sentence in one
tone. Is he wacky?
Yes,
okay, wacky. We can go with wacky, whatever, sure. He's not crazy, though. Wacky, maybe.
Well, what's the difference between wacky and crazy?
Crazy implies that you don't have any kind of rationale to what you're doing. Wacky is kind of like you're just different from what is expected.
Rationale, so your silly definition of crazy needs some work. Okay. Now,
so what is wacky then?
End mission is crazy, right? Because he's just like a bad guy. Or unless we're going with the angle that he's not crazy, he just is like obsessed with Sherlock and wants to like undermine him or something. So he's made himself to be his like criminal counterpart, which obviously he's doing because he's a consulting detective and he's a consulting criminal. So I guess if you want to say his motivation is to just rival Sherlock.
No, his motivation is very clear. What do you know what his motivation is? We know it by the end of the episode.
To be a bad guy.
No.
What's his motivation then?
He has no reason to live and he wants to find a meaningful way to die. And the way he finds to like the reason he's so happy at the end of the episode when Sherlock is figuring out a way that he can get out of the final problem at the end is that he realizes that his death can have meaning because if he kills himself in that moment, then Sherlock has to die. And he's like, thank you for doing this because I have like a moment. So his motivation is like, he just wants to find a way to die and like to have some joy in his life again by dying.
The boredom thing is definitely a part I remember because Sherlock gets bored a lot and Moriarty is getting bored a lot and they find each other. It's like the Batman and Robin thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Not Batman and Robin, Batman and Joker EliteAri. Another wacky, crazy, over the top guy, you know, the Joker, just like Moriarty here. God, I wish we had comments on this one, EliteAri, so they could all agree with me. But unfortunately, we'll live in solace. Solace? Does that mean alone?
Mm-hmm. No, you know what we can do?
We'll live in solace together forever.
We can clip this out, put it on Twitter or something. Okay, we'll see people talk about it. I'm sure his opinions.
No, your Twitters would just agree with you because they're biased. So we'll do it on my Twitter. What was I saying? Boredom.
True.
So you're not lying on everything you say. That part's true. Now, he was like happy and laughing before he shot himself in the head, but obviously he's still alive, EliteAri, so that doesn't matter. Though the way you thematically described it seemed too complicated for you to be fucking with me, which makes me lead me to believe that he might actually be dead here. So that's crazy.
We'll see.
But then who's going to be the bad guy in all of these next episodes? Now that would be good for me, EliteAri. I hate that everything's tied into silly Moriarty all the time. But him and Sherlock both faking their deaths seems more like a cool parallel we can do for more seasons. So he like had a fake gun, it made a loud noise, and then he put paint in the back of his head, and then he hit his head on the ground to make it look like there was blood. genius. I figured it out. That's what Sherlock did too, I'm guessing. They both did it the
Hmm.
exact same way. Now, wouldn't that be a little parallel? I'm figuring it all out, EliteAri.
Mhm.
Now, he's obviously wacky and over the top and crazy.
I would not say yes to many of those.
What
Wacky, sure, I can
What
give
about
wacky.
unhinged, EliteAri? What about unhinged?
I'm trying to think, what's like an example of him being unhinged? Like, what does he do that's unhinged?
Well, he kills a lot of people for his little game. But that's not even what we're talking about here. We're talking about the performance and him starting the sentence down here and then saying a word wacky.
Yeah.
And then ending the
Wacky,
sentence.
I can agree with wacky. Wacky is a good one. It's not even that good though, but it's like fine. It's like he's like a little wacky. I don't know about any of the other words.
Why don't you use some adjectives? Go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Moriarty is...
Just say cool, EliteAri, and we'll laugh.
What is he? Let's see. Moriarty is best defined by his quotes, okay? So we have to say the quotes. And I feel like I don't even know. It's like he is...
Make sure you say the quotes in a wacky, crazy, and over-the-top way so we get the same impression.
There are two Moriartys. There's the Moriarty at the end of last season who's like doing a weird thing with his voice.
There's not two Moriartys.
There is. There obviously is. There's the weird... He's doing a weird thing with his voice. He's like yelling randomly. Like he's
hold
doing
on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Would you say all the descriptions I said for the season 1 Moriarty?
Oh, I think I would completely agree. I think all the stuff you're saying, it probably would map onto that final scene.
So there is a world in which I just have mental mapped that one over all future interactions. But I don't think so. I think he was being wacky all the time.
Because it is, like, in that first scene, he's, like, he's yelling, he's saying these, like, silly lines, he's, like, he's doing a lot of exaggerated faces, and it is true, in that first scene, and it is the scene I don't like of him, and it is a little bit because it's cringe. I know now, actually, it didn't even cross my mind, but that is what it is. But I don't see that in any of the other scenes, which is why I said at the beginning of this talk, where it's like, it feels like a completely different character toward this season versus last season. Yeah, I don't know. You got me with that one.
What about when he like goes from being calm, he gets the phone call and he has the funny staying alive thing that's pretty wacky and crazy and over the top. And then he answers it and he starts screaming at the lady on the phone. Yeah,
that's the same scene is what I would say. Like that's the bit I'm talking about. Where it's like,
counts as still wacky and crazy and over the top.
Yeah. That's like the same. I would treat that Moriarty. He even looks different. Like visually, he like looks different at that scene to like all the other ones. I don't know. Also, I have no idea if people actually think this. Is just what I think. Maybe everyone would vehemently disagree with me on this. I have no idea. But anyway, Moriarty, what a guy.
He broke into a museum.
He did, and also at the same time, he broke into Pentonville Prison and the Bank of England. And it was classical music playing while he didn't, and it was fantastic. And the directing was great, and we love everything. And he used a diamond to shatter the...
He was doing a wacky, weird, over-the-top and crazy dance before he broke it down with a fire extinguisher, I think.
He was doing a wacky dance, and it was sick. Okay, what else is there? Let's see. So the trial of the century goes on. Moriarty's on trial. James Moriarty, okay, or Jim Moriarty. Moriarty offers no defense, but is found innocent. Sherlock runs into the journalist woman in the bathroom, posing as a Sherlock fan. But,
this was a Sherlock character, EliteAri. Weren't you excited when she showed up? She's got ginger hair, and she was cool, EliteAri. She was giving it to him, but then the shitty show had to write in that Sherlock got the last word. I like this girl.
True. You repel me, is what he said.
Yeah, he was mean. What a meanie.
Yep. All right. Sherlock... Oh yeah, he's on stand as a witness, but he speaks too much and is held in contempt. And we get another little deduction scene.
He figured out the whole jury, EliteAri. They were in love and they were eating crackers and they were something.
Yep, that's right. They were cheating on each other. Yeah, it was great. Okay, now Sherlock, after the trial and Moriarty's found innocent, he goes back home and Moriarty visits him. Isn't that crazy? And now we have some quotes where you can tell me, okay, what you think about these. Because my goodness, every scene with Moriarty is just so good. Every fairy tale needs a good old-fashioned villain. You need me or you're nothing, because we're just like you and I, except you're boring. You're on the side of the angels.
He said the line!
Which line?
You're just like you and I. That's something we make fun of in video essays.
Sure, yeah. That's the problem, the final problem. Have you worked out what it is yet? What's the final problem? I did tell you, but did you listen? True. And do you know what he did? How he told him? Isn't that crazy?
He tapped on the thingy.
True, but in reality, it's probably him saying staying alive is the final problem. But yeah, because it's his ringtone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because at the end of the episode, he says, staying alive. It's so boring, isn't it? Anyway, Then Moriarty taps his fingers, and then wait, what is this? How hard do you find it having to say I don't know? And then Sherlock says I don't know, and then he's like, oh, clever, that's very clever, awfully clever, well put. It's like, yep.
That was cute.
True.
This scene where they were sitting in the place, and he walked up while he was playing the violin, and then Sherlock stopped playing violin to check that he's there, and then he starts playing again to try and pretend to be cool when he comes in. That was cool.
True.
And he was eating an apple.
He was, and then he carved it out and left IOU in the apple, and yeah, it was pretty sick. Okay, Mycroft summons John, and then John goes to the silent room and speaks in the silent room, and all the old people are mad at him. Isn't that crazy? They have like a silent room in the
It was cool, because they're like, oh, there was like a political scandal, so now in places where politicians, they're not allowed to talk to each other to avoid a future scandal. And I was like, that's kind of a genius idea. And also it reminded me of a few Boardwalk Empire scenes where it is very much like 1922 New York, where there's a bunch of rich people that all look like the people in this room, and they all do sit down and like read the newspaper around each other, but nobody's allowed to speak to each other. And in that, the main character comes in and tries to speak to somebody, and it's very uncomfortable, and they just look at him, and then they throw him out later. It's cool. Yep,
it's a great scene because I have no idea what was happening. I was like, what? Why can't he talk? Why are they all mad at him? What's happening? And then you figure it out that it's like a silent room, and it's like, oh, interesting.
It's a vow. You can't be speaking.
True. Mycroft says, tradition, John. Now traditions define us. I'm like, true. All right. John goes home, finds some breadcrumbs at the door. Then we get the case of the missing children. So they go to the little school place, and the boy leaves a clue on the wall. And then Sherlock...
He's a genius, this kid.
He is, because he reads his spy books, right?
Sherlock, big monster vibes from this little bit, by the way.
I'm sure there is, but I know nothing about monster. And I'm glad.
And you never will. What a mid series.
That's what I hear.
Don't bother.
Sherlock analyzes the footprint with Molly's help, and we get a Molly scene here. What do you think of this Molly scene, where she like notices?
Great, Molly. You better kiss and it better be good. I don't want no fucking she. No, he's gonna kiss her when he's like done something very cool for her, and then he's gonna run off, and we're not gonna get an actual moment. They're not gonna live happily ever after.
I guess we'll have to see.
And halt EliteAri, because we have to switch over to the mobile phone.
All right, we'll be back, guys. And we're back. Okay, so the case of the missing children, the boy who left the clue on the wall. So Sherlock analyzes the footprint. He goes to Molly, and then Molly talks about how, like, oh, you know, my dad, when he was dying, he was really happy, but I would see him often, like, he'd be, oh, I'd see him when he doesn't think I'm watching, and he looks really sad. And Sherlock, you seem sad, because when I'm watching, you don't realize I'm there, because I don't mean anything to you or whatever. So yeah, what do you think?
I don't know. It was I don't know. EliteAri, I'm conflicted.
Wonderful. Okay.
No, you're supposed to ask what for.
Why are you conflicted?
Because I don't like these nice little moments John and Sherlock need to have. They're obviously best friends. We can tell that because they're mean to each other. So I don't like these little implications that Sherlock would just be so sad without John. You know this is going to be you know what it reminds me of, EliteAri?
What?
It reminds me of when we had to pretend at the end of Black Sails that Flint and Silver were best pals, and they had to have monologues about how they couldn't go on without each other. And it was lame then, and it's lame now.
All right, well, good, cool. All right, I guess we continue on. I was just going to get some crisps. Do you want anything? It's okay, I know you don't. Well, actually, maybe I know you don't. Do you know who was saying that? Oh, and he's back. Welcome back, Kyle.
My good.
Oh my god. Wait, what happened? Are you there?
I think I closed the Discord app.
Unbelievable. What's the last thing you heard?
I was talking, so that doesn't sound good.
Okay, well, we're talking about Molly, and then you talked about John, and he's sad that John is...
Did you hear my funny part? Let me repeat my joke.
Go ahead.
Boys don't have nice moments to each other, EliteAri, unless they're kissing. Did you hear that part?
No, I didn't hear that. No, I just kept talking about... I sat there, and I'm like, in silence a bit, and I'm like, okay, let's just move on.
What if some woman showed up, EliteAri, Jarkey Bacon or something, and then started monologuing about how EliteAri's sad when you don't do discussions? Shut up! Lame.
True. Okay, lovely. So, next, we learn about the homeless network.
On. There's a bigger issue here.
Uh-huh.
And that's that obviously Molly and Sherlock should be having these words about each other. But instead it's about shitty John Watson. And they're always and they're gonna keep doing it every like third episode. They're gonna have a little fight. And I'm gonna roll my eyes and be bored every time it happens, EliteAri.
Who's having a fight?
They are not gonna break up. Watson and Sherlock.
Okay, yeah. You think they're never gonna break up?
Well, they'll break up for like a season, but they'll get back together by the end of the season.
Okay.
I've seen
interesting.
all these shows before.
All right. Have you read these novels before? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes. Sherlock has a homeless network. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, we saw that last season.
Oh, did we? I thought we just met it this season. Okay, well there it is. He has one. Sherlock
That's how they found
finds.
Nosferatu, you idiot.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know why I have it here then in my notes, but true, that is true.
I know this show better than you do.
Sherlock finds the kids, and turns out they were eating mercury poisoned sweets, which is a remote killing method. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
And the more if they didn't find him in time, they would have died. That was crazy.
Yeah, and the more they ate, the quicker they were gonna die. Oh my god.
Yeah, and the longer it took, the hungrier they were going to get.
Yep. And then when Sherlock goes to talk to the kid, he freaks out, or she freaks out.
Scream.
Yep. It's kind of crazy. What do you think was happening at that point?
Killed him.
Is that what you assumed?
I thought like Moriarty showed them a video of Sherlock while he was torturing him or something.
True. All right. Then after this, Sherlock goes, he needs some time to think. So he gets in a cab, and then on TV, it starts playing a story by Moriarty, or by Richard Brooke, I guess, which says, The Tale of Sir Boastalot. Which is basically just talking about how like everyone is mad at Sherlock because he's really good at what he does and he boasts about it, and then he thinks he's so far above everyone else. So people start to hate him because he's Sir Boastalot. We love it. Yeah, Donovan and Anderson, which are the two police people. Do you know which is which?
Donovan is the girl.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, okay, you're correct. And then Anderson's the other guy, right?
Fucking idiot. But he was gonna trick me.
Yeah. Anyway,
Donovan is also that guy from Berserk.
True. They report their suspicions to Lestrade, and Lestrade is like, "You can't seriously believe this," and he like says it in his Lestrade voice.
And then he believes it really quick.
No, then he's like, he kind of feels like, oh, let's go report it to the guy above us and see what he thinks. And
then that guy gets real mad.
He does, but because
they've
been having an amateur on the case the whole time, like messing up their crime scenes and everything. It's terrible.
And then don't worry, John Watson gonna punch this bureaucrat in the mouth.
He will. But first, Sherlock gets out of the car, and then he sees Moriarty is driving the car. Kind of crazy. And then
there's like a taxi driver, like the first episode.
Yeah, true. And then Sherlock almost gets run over, but the assassin saves his life and then is shot when they shake hands because people don't want they want to kill all their enemies. They don't want that person to get Chainsaw Man. They want Chainsaw Man for themselves. So they're all killing each other. It's great. So what else is there? Lestrade tries to get Sherlock to go to the station for questioning, but Sherlock is like, I can't do this. This will play into Moriarty's hand. He wants a photo of me going to the police station so he can ruin my reputation. And then John punches the police guy and they go on the run and they're like holding hands and stuff. And it's like, oh, people are going to start talking now. And it's like, oh, it's a gay joke. You love the gay jokes, right?
We love the gay jokes. There's many. They come quick and fast.
Yep. Then Sherlock realizes that Moriarty planted the key code in his apartment. So the assassins are killing each other. So they don't, each one doesn't get it. Then they end up going to the journalist's house who's writing an expose on Sherlock. And the star witness is Richard Brooke. Isn't that crazy? Sherlock hired this man to play Jim Moriarty. Did that trick you for even a second?
No,
it definitely tricked me when the first time I watched it. I was like, "What the hell? What's going on?"
No, it kind of it tricked me in the way I was like, "How?" Because they did insinuate on it for a little bit, and the Moriarty actor, because he is good,
he's really good.
It's not his fault. That other thing, he does do like a very different personality here. That's really cool.
Yep.
But eventually I came to the thought of like, they could have this be real, but then we still have to get back to like normalcy by the end of the episode. So I was trying to figure out if that, then how would we get back to it? But then by then they'd like, the scene had sort of evaporated. Yeah, so it is really good. And like, it made me believe that this had to be genuine for it to like, and then I think that's when I first had the idea, maybe he's like a twin or something.
Sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's whenever it comes to reaction videos, this is the scene where I'm like, oh, I want to see what they think about this scene, What's Shane Farley going to say? Is he going to believe it? Yeah, that's great.
Did he believe it?
I think he was like, no fucking shit, no way. I think it was like that. It's like, how is this happening? Or I think that's what maybe not. Maybe he like didn't believe it at all.
Because there is a scene before this where it's like Sherlock is like, oh, this is another like Sherlock and John drama, but Sherlock's like, I know you don't believe me either, John. And John's like looking out the window and he says, don't worry, Sherlock, I believe you.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's actually being tested here. And it was like, ooh, okay.
Yep, true. So it turns out that Mycroft last episode, like when Moriarty was in prison, was in feeding him information about Sherlock, which is why he knows so much about him and why the expose is going to be completely destroying Sherlock's reputation, because even if there is like some elements that aren't true, which is going to be undermining him, people just aren't going to care because they hate Sherlock so much, and all the rest of it is going to be true. And they're going to be like, well, everything else was true. Yep. Problem?
I got a problem.
All right, go ahead.
If this hadn't have happened and this hadn't been explained, there's no way you wouldn't just think that the Moriarty we had learned about before this wouldn't just be able to discover all this information about Sherlock. So, you know, I was like, he doesn't need Mycroft to tell him all this information. Obviously, he could just figure this out. He's like a crazy hacker, super villain. He knows everything always and sets up elaborate traps and stuff. So that was my thought.
Wait, okay, sure, that could have happened, but it didn't happen. Yep, lovely, thank you. Sherlock goes to Molly and asks for her help and says, I'm not okay. Molly, I think I'm going to die. If I wasn't everything you think I am, everything I think I am, would you still want to help me? What do you need? You. It's like, oh, he needs help from her. That's cute.
But they didn't kiss.
True. Wait, did we see any more Molly in this episode? I don't think so. It's kind of interesting. They're hiding. Oh yeah, no.
Is she dead?
Maybe she died. Maybe. Anyway, they're hiding in the hospital when they get a call that Mrs. Hudson has been shot, and Sherlock is heartless and he refuses to help, and then John gets mad at him.
He figured out that it wasn't real.
True.
Now, I did think this was weird, EliteAri, because this is very extreme. But then also I was like, she got beat up in that other episode, so
it's
probably
true.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pull that same trick twice. It was a different trick.
Yeah. The bigger thing is more like, we know Sherlock's character development. He probably does care about Mrs. Hudson, how much he cared in that first episode. So it's a bit out of character that he would not care at the point, you know. But that's the thing that tips us off. But it is like, it could have happened. Like, he is really worried about Moriarty at this point, you know.
He's being selfish at the moment, you know. He's just worried about his own hide.
True. All right. So then we got the best scene in the episode. Sherlock and Moriarty have a scene on the rooftop, and it's like the best scene ever in like all of fiction ever. Firstly, the directing is so good, especially the first shot where it's like, I don't know how you even describe this. It's like you start off with the camera pointing at Moriarty, but it's a wide angle lens where it's like a panorama, like you're seeing the whole roof basically, like all warped and stuff. And the camera is like spinning as he's just like sitting there listening to his phone. And it like lasts for quite a while. It's like 10 seconds or something. It's just the camera spinning, and it's so cool.
I don't remember this at all.
Yep. Well, it's very cool.
I don't remember any cool directing in this scene at all.
Well, that was the coolest.
I remember a couch on a field.
That was cool directing
but not
too.
This stuff.
Anyway, so Moriarty is sitting there. He's listening to Staying Alive.
That was one of these ones. I think the first episode of EliteAri had a bunch of cool like frames inside of frames. You know, they teach this in film school, EliteAri. You know, I did film and TV in grade 11 and 12, where there was a little frame, and then there was a little door, and then in the door was John Watson. And then there was Sherlock walked into frame, and he was at a different little door inside this little door. And I said, that's a cool shot.
Wonderful.
And I said that a lot because Sherlock has cool directing and little editing things and stuff like that.
Yep.
However, it has a terrible main villain that sucks.
Who's the main villain? Oh, Moriarty. Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so then in this rooftop scene, one by one, Sherlock is slowly revealing what he's figured out. Like, he figured out all the puzzles that Moriarty laid out. And then I just have dialogue here, okay? So I'm just going to quote dialogue. It's just the best thing ever. You and me, Sherlock, and our problem, the final problem, staying alive. It's so boring, isn't it? It's just staying. All my life, I've been searching for distractions, and you were the best distraction, and now I don't even have you because I've beaten you. And you know what? In the end, it was easy. It was easy. Now I've got to go back to playing with the ordinary people, and it turns out you're ordinary, just like all of them. Oh, well. And now I can't do it justice. You know?
Wow.
In the actual,
cool,
his delivery, it's just so good, you know?
You're just not like those other girls, EliteAri. You're just a smart guy. And, you know, we're just so cool, you and I. Lame!
I'm trying to think what you're saying. No, this is the cool thing in this line is the fact that he's just so disappointed in Sherlock. Like, we never see it where it's like someone is just disappointed in how smart Sherlock is. I mean, maybe I don't care if it's like been done before. I'm saying in terms of Sherlock. Like, no one has,
Well, I care.
Well, you're a silly little man, Kyle, okay? You're a silly little man. What else is there? Sherlock
I'm a
is
cool
wrong.
guy.
There is no key. Okay, he's all wrong about that. The code isn't real. The rhythm was just Cartesian number one. He committed a daylight robbery with willing participants. There is no code that like kind of breaks into all the banks and everything. That's
True, that was
Sherlock has a
pretty cool.
weakness. You know, he just wants everything to be clever when sometimes stuff just isn't clever. Sherlock says, "I could still prove you created an entirely false identity," and then Moriarty says, "Or just kill yourself. It's a lot less effort." It's like, it is true.
Oh, question.
Yep,
Question.
go ahead.
He said this thing a bunch of times where he was like, you made a fake identity. And I had no idea why that was important at all.
Because he is the star witness to the character piece that's going to destroy Sherlock's reputation.
Oh, this reputation thing was stupid the whole time, too.
If you don't like that, you're not going to like the episode. That's the whole point.
The episode was terrific. It was stupendous.
But the whole driving force behind the episode is that Moriarty is going to destroy his reputation.
Sherlock is going to do some cool deductions, and he's going to flirt with Molly, and he's going to have some funny interactions with John Watson, and there's going to be some exciting mystery stuff at the beginning. And I already admitted at the beginning that all 3 episodes had lame payoffs. Now, the first one was just because it was a little bit confusing. The second one was, I don't know, it was whatever. And then the third one was fake out deaths, so we don't like that one either. And also, reputations are lame. And Sherlock doesn't care that much about his reputation. They try to make us think that he thought that, but what a bunch of liars.
True.
That's the showrunners, that is. Now, so this was all over a newspaper article?
What do you mean this? What does that mean? What are you talking about?
He was all upset that he couldn't get in front of this newspaper article where people were going to think he was lame. Now, he did set him up to be a jail guy. Now, that's something you can be concerned about, EliteAri. A fugitive, but a newspaper article?
I don't know. I didn't even know what you're saying. What are you saying?
That lady was writing a newspaper article, and that's what the fake identity was for. That's what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I don't even know what to say. Yeah, true. Who cares? I don't know. I guess anyone watching the show. I don't know.
No, I don't buy that Sherlock will care. That's my point here, EliteAri.
Do you think he cared by the end?
Well, I don't know. He killed himself or something.
Why did he kill himself?
Because he had to save his great 3 friends.
Yeah.
It was cute that Lestrade was on the same level as the other guys, huh? That was pretty cute.
True. Who did he name?
Lestrade, he's a cool guy.
Do you remember who he named?
Lestrade, the old lady, and John Watson, of course.
Yep, there we go. His 3 greatest friends in the world.
Not Molly. Unbelievable.
Not Molly, true. And not Donovan, not Mike.
Our first girl?
True, not the John's first girlfriend. Is that who you're saying?
No, the girl from the first episode, Adderall or whatever her name is.
The woman, yes. That's her name. That's what
the love of his life, EliteAri?
Yes, okay. Anyway, Sherlock asks for a moment of privacy. And then he starts laughing. And then
Which was really stupid. Like, why would... Now, I think this is like a twist, right?
Huh?
Because why would the bad guy ever do that? That seemed like some real dumb bad guy stuff, but I think it was a twist,
no, wait,
right?
Sherlock. Wait, I don't even know what you're saying. Sherlock asked for privacy. What do you
Sherlock
mean?
says, "Can I have some privacy before I kill myself?" And why didn't Moriarty say, "No, you're gonna do a trick, so you win"?
Because he believes that he has thought out everything and he is completely correct. Which is why the next bit where he says, "What did I miss?" and he gets really mad is the true Moriarty we're seeing for the first time. Because in all this before, he's like, I'm bored. I'm so confident. Like, I know everything. And then at this moment, he finally doesn't. Because Sherlock is laughing to himself and he's like, "What did I miss?" How can you be a
smart guy and be arrogant? That's just silly. I don't believe these 2 guys are smart.
True.
This is what a dumb person thinks a smart guy is. Stephen Moffat is a dummy.
Well, he didn't write this episode, so I don't know what to tell you.
He did all of it, all right? He's executive producer, I bet.
True. Then Moriarty realizes that as long as he's alive, Sherlock has a way to get out, so he kills himself. And then Moriarty's really happy because his death finally has meaning, and it's really cute, and I like it.
He has to be dead, right? But he can't be dead. There's
I guess we'll have to see.
Shut up, EliteAri, I'm speculating. So the little thematic thing, you said this like an hour ago or something, but that was really cute the way you said it, so I want to believe it. You were like, he had to do it because then he could beat Sherlock in death, and because he was so bored and staying alive was so lame, dying like fits into that theme too. Genius. Mm-hmm. But also, because if he's alive, then he just did outplay Sherlock, and in that one moment you loved because it revealed the real him, he was actually being a fake guy, and you're not clever enough to set that up to misdirect me into thinking that he's is actually dead and not alive.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that was genuine emotion from EliteAri. So that means he's dead.
Well, he is dead. He did kill himself with a gun.
No, and Sherlock jumped off the roof.
And he's dead too.
But he wasn't.
Well, you know, we'll have to watch next season. But before this, Sherlock panics after Moriarty kills himself, and he's like freaking out a bit, and is like, "What the hell?" And then he has a conversation with John on the phone, and then decides to jump and kill himself. And it's so sad. And John is like, he's like,
"Oh, Larry, I figured out how they're gonna break up." Because he's not going to tell John Watson he was alive until like halfway through episode 1 of next season. And then he's going to be like, "I cried for you." And then he's going to say, "Fuck you, Sherlock." He's going to run off. And then he's going to get kidnapped by the bad guy in the climax of season 3, episode 1. And Sherlock will save him. And he'll say, "This doesn't make us even, you know." And he's going to storm off again. And the music for the ending theme is going to start playing. And Sherlock's going to smile because he knows, even though he faked his death, he's got his best pal back. And they're going to walk off back to 217 Baker Street.
Maybe.
B.
Write this down, okay? And then we'll see.
And also, Mrs. Hudson, when she finds out, is going to slap him and be like, "How dare you, Sherlock? You scared me half to death." That's going to be her exact line.
So you think, like, the characters finding out Sherlock is still alive is going to be, like, a thing, like, in this next episode?
Yes, because he faked his death. And obviously, it was a calculated maneuver. Now, why would he traumatize his good friend, the great Watson, by doing a little suicide note? Now, he did make sure to say, like, hint that he was doing a suicide note, so John Watson would think he was real. So maybe we drag it out until the final episode of season 3.
Interesting. So yeah, I guess, yeah, to clarify, in this final conversation, he is telling John, it's like, "I'm a fraud, it's all fake." Like, that is what he's saying, telling him. Yep. And then he jumps and dies.
True.
It's crazy. We see him hit the ground and die.
It was cool that John didn't cry like a idiot character, you know, like Thorfinn would cry that one time, or some other guys would cry when their best friend dies in a show. He just got a little dizzy and was in disbelief, so we like that.
True. He did get knocked over by a bike or something, didn't he? Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
So you think when somebody jumps, right, and they jump off a building, you know, they all like ran over to him and like crowded around him. Wouldn't you like not want to have a look, EliteAri? Wouldn't you like look the other way? Why are you crowding?
Well, now, I don't know.
The real answer is he might still be alive, so we can go and save him if we go and check on him.
No, that's not the answer. It's like, why do people slow down when there's a car crash? Because it's like, "Oh, I want to look. Like, what's going on?" That's probably what it is.
That is true, but you just because I guess it is like a curiosity of like, "Oh, what happened?" But then like after you see it, you like turn away and you're like, "Ew," and then you like walk away or something. I don't know. You're probably in shock. You're reminded of that death is a real thing, EliteAri. That can be a little freeze you in your boots. You can feel a little weird around that. I don't know. It's a little funny thing.
True.
I don't know, EliteAri. I've never sat in a dead body outside of a funeral.
True. Neither have I.
You don't know if that's true. That could be false.
Yeah, I guess it could be false. But you know who has seen
when
a
you
dead
find
body
my
at a
body,
funeral?
EliteAri, don't look.
I definitely won't.
I'm going to kill myself, jump off a building, because
the final
you make Sherlock season 3.
The final scene in the show is John. He's talking to the grave, and he's giving a real feeling speech. It's like so genuine, you know. He's talking about like just don't be dead, you know. And he's saying all these things, and then you cut to Sherlock in the bushes. He's just looking ominously, or not ominously. He's just looking funnily. I don't know. And then the music goes off. It's like dun 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 dun. It's like, oh my god, it's Sherlock. So what happened? How is he alive?
Does the show actually have an ending thing?
No, it's like they play the Sherlock music, and then at the end it does have the I don't know, I can't do it. It's like drums or something. It's like,
oh, I remember the music now.
Yeah, dun 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 dun. I think it's that one, isn't it? At the end.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. What happened? How did he do it?
So you know, there's twins. Probably not happening. Number 2. There's he threw a fake body off when we weren't looking, like Matsuda in Death Note. He did actually hit the ground, but he calculated through his mathematician skills that if he hit the ground at this one particular part, he would crack his head open to make it look like he was dead, but he would survive. Now, calculations number, I have no idea, EliteAri.
What? Okay, what do you think would be the worst answer?
Oh.
I'm just curious.
It was a different. He threw Moriarty's body off and put a wig on it because he was already dead and bleeding from the head.
That would be a bad solution, do you think?
Well, they should be able to identify the body, but they couldn't for the naked woman somehow. So,
well, because she faked her DNA records, right?
And her face was bashed.
Yeah, and they messed up her face. Yeah,
so that might have been the second time actually. But anyway, still stupid.
Okay, interesting theory.
There because the bomb, how they got out of the bomb thing was stupid, right? His phone went off and he just called it off or something.
Huh? So, I don't even know what you're talking about.
The season 1 cliffhanger, you fucking.
Oh yeah, that was dumb. Yeah.
The
in a good way.
How do you write yourself out of this situation? Now, I'm pretty sure they had it figured out before they made the situation. So there's.
Do you think they will? Do you think maybe they'll just skip over it and time skip, or?
No, they'll explain it. Because Watson was like looking at him the whole time. Watson got drugged by the gas from episode 2 and made him think he saw it, but he didn't actually see it.
Do you think, is there any clues throughout the episode or at the end? Or
well, that's what I'm trying to think of. At the roof, there was like a thingy, and there was something, and no, is this something we're supposed to be making YouTube videos about for the 2-year break, and everybody knew that Jon Snow was coming back, but he already came back, so that was good.
I mean, this was a big thing of speculation, which I was involved in because I got between season 2 and 3, so I was always like, "Oh, what's happened?" How did it happen?
There's probably an answer somewhere around here, EliteAri, but I don't remember.
All right, lovely. Well, are you excited to find out the truth? Because that's in the next episode.
Yeah, I could just watch like the first 10 minutes,
True, it might be in there, or it might not be. Anyway, I guess I have yeah, go ahead.
We can maybe do it, after the first arc of Naruto,
It's up to you. We could simulate the 2-year wait to get the solution. Then you feel like a real fan, yeah.
That was kind of the plan in my head. I was like, oh, season 2, we'll finish that, and then we'll go. I didn't expect there to be another cliffhanger, EliteAri.
That is true. It is also interesting. The show is, the show does change over time. I'm curious what you're going to think of next season. And then that final season as well.
EliteAri hates it too. He giggled.
We'll see. Okay, so anyway, I had a few questions. One of them was, how did Sherlock survive? That's one of them, but you've said some things. Number 2 is, because you've said throughout, I think Moriarty survived. How do you think Moriarty survived, if he did?
Well, this one's a little bit more crazy, but all he has to do is he let off a fake gun noise, and then he had the tomato sauce on the back of his head, and when he fell down. And then he's just got to be really still while Sherlock freaks out. And Sherlock did freak out and then jump off. So, he wasn't up there for too long. Twins, EliteAri. Twins for Moriarty. That one's possible. Not for Sherlock, but for Moriarty.
Okay.
But, you already convinced me that he's dead, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, and then
But if he's not dead, I'm still got the credit for being right, okay?
True, you're right either way, I'm sure. That's
how it usually works.
Who are your favorite characters at this point?
We've got the great sexy lady.
Irene Adler, the woman.
And we're all rooting for Molly nowadays.
Okay.
And then Lestrade. That's our favorite guy, of course.
What a guy.
And then
remember that one episode last season he wasn't in for some reason? Where they got another police guy?
Yeah, there was another police guy.
So weird. I don't know.
And then, you got the normal guys in 4th and 5th.
The normal guys? What are the normal guys?
The normal two, our main guys.
Episode. Oh, okay.
The gays. Okay, yeah.
I thought you meant the couple from episode 2. Okay.
And then we're out of characters. Moriarty and E.T., I believe, for poor performance.
No, for what is he? Over the top, crazy, wacky,
unhinged,
cringy,
wacky.
Terrible. That's what he is.
Cringy, definitely. Cringy. He's only cringy some of the time,
And now he's dead. Rest in peace. So, crazy.
I know how he's going to be in the next season of EliteAri. Sherlock's going to have visions of him because he's going to miss him so much, and he's going to be taunting Sherlock when he can't figure out a case, just like the great King Swain.
That could be interesting. He did show up in the Baskerville episode. Do you remember that? When he was like at the end, when Sherlock went into
Yeah,
the
he was
Hollow,
getting
he imagined
drugged
him.
or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Crazy. Yep,
I
good job.
remember.
All right. Guess what? Well, there's no way you can guess. I don't know why I said it. So let me double check something, okay? I'm just Googling right now, okay?
John Watson gets recast in season 3. Oh no.
That would be crazy. No, just to say, about 2 weeks before season 3 came out, there was a YouTube video uploaded, which is a mini episode of Sherlock. It's 7 minutes long, and it's called Sherlock Mini Episode Many Happy Returns.
If I must.
So this is a thing. I mean, you can. It's completely optional, I think. Like, I don't remember it being important or anything, but it is a thing that exists out there, which you should, if you want to watch it chronologically, you would watch it before the episode, season 3, episode 1.
If it comes out before, it's probably just John Watson being depressed, huh?
You know what? I actually don't remember, but I remember watching it.
Well, I suppose it's not important then, you fucking idiot.
No, it is.
It's not going to be Sherlock explaining how he survived.
I don't think it is important. You know, I'll link it to you all the same, you know, just in case.
What's the thumbnail going to be? John Watson being depressed. I knew it.
Yep. All right. Anyway, that's Sherlock, season 2. Anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. So, thanks guys for listening. All like 2 of you out there, maybe not even 2. Honestly, we don't know who's listening right now. Please, if you're listening right now, literally leave a comment, because you are probably the only person in the whole world
give
listening.
us great, what's the
I
word
don't
I'm
know
looking
what the
for
word
here?
is.
Great faith, great pump,
Motivation.
Motivation. It'll give us great feelings of being seen.
Just like type the word comment or something. You don't even have to say like, oh, you guys are so great. That was a fantastic discussion. You can just say like comment. We'll be like, he was
say,
there,
isn't it funny how Carl predicted everything correctly? And then I'll have to guess whether or not that comment is fucking with me or not.
Yep. All right. See you next time, guys.